Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a OSR tabletop with myself, DM Bloodworth here. This is impromptu. I did not schedule this. This is just jumping right in. I've been trying to touch bases with DM James, so hopefully he gets the response, and hopefully during the time that I'll be online, he'll be able to jump in and join me in this discussion, because partly what I'm doing is that I am responding to a video that he had done, where he was he was actually responding to a J. Scott Garibay video where J. Scott was talking about the new Hellfire Club starter box that is either due to come out or has come out already. I believe actually Scott actually has it. Now, he didn't actually open the box and start talking about the contents of the box. He was just spending his time talking about the box cover itself and whatnot. And DM James did a video talking about his perception of what the box was and what Stranger Things and the connection Stranger Things has with Dungeons and Dragons, and how there's a disconnect between what Wizards of the Coast has done with that connection with Stranger Things and probably what should have been done. So that's what I really wanted to get into in my response to DM James. So like I said, hopefully he's able to notice that I'm online and streaming and jump in. I kind of sent him a message. I'll say, yeah, I'm going to jump in, and do a live stream in a few minutes. That was about 20 minutes or so ago. And hopefully he can hop in and we can talk about it, straight up. But I will bring up his video and at least talk about it from that standpoint. So let me find DM James, and let's do this. DM James, and I will bring up the video he was talking about, and let's get to his channel. Now, of course, I'm going to share that if you are not subscribed to DM James's channel, you absolutely should. It's a great channel. I mean, he's just a phenomenal individual to talk about, to talk to and, talk with and whatnot. So yeah, that's definitely something that you should do if you haven't done so already. Let me go to his videos and find the particular one that he was talking about here. And it's a short one as well. So this video of his is only about 8 minutes. So I'm going to share the screen and talk a little bit about it. I will check in the comments if anyone is jumping in and commenting. I'm also going to, so let me open up the chat, and I'm also going to put that invite in there. So let me go to invite, and here we go. So here's the invite. If DM James, if you want to jump in, you're welcome to. Anybody else that wants to jump in, you're certainly welcome to do so. And there we go. Overall, what I'm going to be talking about is Dungeons and Dragons, the way that many of us in the OSR, many of us old school, both dungeon masters and players, those of us that began with D&D, whether it be in the late 70s or early 80s, and what we're being given today from Wizards of the Coast. And one of the positive things, um, one of the positive things that that Wizards of the Coast did manage to do was it managed other places, other creators to access the D&D label, and so that kind of sharing of the IP as far as the logo and the mentions and whatnot. And Stranger Things was one of those where Dungeons and Dragons was at least shown in the first season right from the get go with the Frank Metzner D&D basic red box, and over the course of the 4 seasons, those characters playing D&D also moved on to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition, which is where kind of DM James was coming in and talking and mentioning that was the game system that they were running, and so my complaint about the Stranger Things box set, which I got back when it first released, was that the adventure was absolute crap. The game system was 5e, and it was like kind of like a watered down version of the 5e rules. But I mean, the adventure was unrunnable. You could not run it. It made no sense whatsoever. And I have every expectation that the new one is going to be very similar. It's going to be a crap adventure that is not well written, and I doubt that the art will be halfway decent either. And I just have the expectation that it's going to be pure garbage, because they have no track record of actually doing what they should do. And what they should do, or should have done, with that earlier box set was they could have re-released in that box set the 1983 D&D basic set, and they own the freaking property. All right, they're able to reprint it and put it out there, and attract the players to their own licensed property. And the same thing they could have done with this new release of the box set is, put a little bit of effort into using the IPs that you have, and and this newest box set should be Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition. Of course, reformatted and different layout and whatnot. I mean, obviously they can't put all of it into a box set, the 3 core books, but they certainly could put the very, very basic rules, and then maybe just the monsters that are going to exist in whatever adventure it's being released with, and then a code to pick up the PDF of AD&D First Edition, the core rule books. All right, and that would be a true bonding between the IP that they own and the marketing, piggybacking off of Stranger Things season 5. But they won't do that, and there's a reason why they won't do that. And that's what I was going to talk to DM James about. But before I get into that, I want to give DM James plenty of opportunity to get here. And let me just say hello to the people that are here. So Mobius, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. And then we have Coco B. As far as I know, James finished his stream about 30 minutes ago. Yeah, and we've been playing tag today. I think he streamed earlier looking for me like 3 hours or 4 hours ago, and that was around the time that my wife had just gotten home, so I wasn't paying attention to anything going on with the computer. Um, my ear trumpet, thank you very much for that. And your gift uh, went to Kilraven. So congratulations and thank you very much for that. Watsy already disavowed all of that. I know, and with their stupid disclaimer that that they decided that they would sabotage making any kind of real sales off of the IPs that they do have. But I think there's even more of a reason why they don't do that, and I will get to it, in a few minutes. Let me continue here. So they don't want to put effort into it, and they certainly don't want to promote an obsolete Riles rule set. I don't think that it's just because it's obsolete, ear trumpet. I think it's the problem that they have with it is that it will outshine whatever they can produce in house, and that's what they're afraid of. They don't want their older products, their older IPs, to compete with the modern crap that they're putting out there. They know that they cannot compare. Writing wise, they can't compare. Art, they certainly can't compare. And that's the sole reason why they won't do it. Even though it would make them far more money than what it is, it would become something that they can't compete. They cannot produce that, and they know it, and they will not. It's why they only produce one game system. It's not MTG and D&D as if they compete with one another. They're two completely different types of games, so they don't worry about that. But they wouldn't produce another collectible card game, just as they won't produce another tabletop role-playing game at the same time, because number one, they don't have the writing staff to do it, and that's even before all of their firings. I'm just saying that prior to that, they had no one with the real competence to write a game system. They had no one of real competence to write adventure paths that made any sense. They always had to scavenge from the past, screw it up, and then produce it. And they don't share their sales, because their sales are pretty much crap. They make all of their money. All of the money from D&D is from outsourcing the licensing, and that's the key component to how they make money. If it weren't for MTG floating the entire boat, Wizards of the Coast would have shut down a decade ago. So I don't think that 5e would have lasted without COVID and the shutdowns that really drove up their numbers. I don't think it would have survived to 2020 on its own, or 21 on its own. It would have lasted about 5 years, and then they would have been scrambling to figure out, all right, now what other thing can we produce that is going to make us some money, because it would have fallen off the ledge. So let's see. Yes, they considered their older stuff problematic. That was the golden age compared to today's age of mud. Yeah, and I think it is genuinely the reason why, Mobius, is that they do not. They acknowledge that they cannot. They can't compete with the writing and the artwork of TSR in its glory days. Which would have been the 1980s time frame. So So, like I said, I was going to share that video with GM James. So let me get that, and let's see.
Okay, guys, it's review time. So prepare for my review of my favorite person from Philadelphia, Mr. Garibay. That's right. Our little Basque bastard running around. Yeah, you can't trust the Basque. They'll try to kill you with a pin. All you gotta do is watch like Gross Point Blank. You'll know what I mean. Anyway, let's hear what he's got to say. First off, that cover. Before we hear Scott Garibay like get down on his knees and glaze this thing like it paid him $50, the cover is like 100% like Errol Otis old school art. The Hellfire Club was a satanic kind of hedonistic secret society, so I'm not sure you want to be part of that, Mr. Garibay. I thought you were evangelical. And Stranger Things was a show I got bored of by the end of the first season. But let's look at it. Okay, it's got one of those flower headed, two headed monster dragon things. Lame, actually, from the upside down or whatever. But like the wizard and the fighter and the dwarf and the halfling, they're actually really cool. I don't know how Wizards of the Coast got away with making this since there's no strong, unless that is that supposed to be a black woman elf? Because you gotta have a queen, and dwarves count as white guys, and so do
Oh,
halflings, I
let
guess.
me get.
And then this guy, I don't know who this guy is. Wearing a lot of rings though. Like, what's he think he is? A pirate? Of course, I remember back in the 80s, I wore my hair like that too, and I was an edgy boy. So I totally get the look actually. I probably got some photos of myself around somewhere looking kind of like that, but and by I mean, a long-haired white guy. Not exactly like that, but But let's hear what Mr. JSG's got to say, and I will make fun of him if I need to, or agree with him if necessary. That wizard there, right? I can't see really good, but it looks like the book he's holding up there might be the first edition Dungeon Master's got. And that's one thing that Garby forgets is he glazes the hell out of like 6th edition Dungeons, Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, whatever. But in Stranger Things, they were playing AD&D.
Yeah, and that's a really important point, and and pointing that out to J. Scott Garibay won't help any, at all. He won't acknowledge it. Although he claims to be a big Gygaxian, praiser of Gary Gygax and all of that, um, he has no respect for AD&D First Edition or any edition other than Fifth Edition and now 5.5 or whatever the hell you want to call D&D 2024. Um, he is a um, he is a fan of Wizards of the Coast. He is not a fan of Dungeons and Dragons because if you were a true fan of Dungeons and Dragons, you would see that what they're producing now is D&D, D and Dino, basically Dungeons and Dragons in name only. It is not Dungeons and Dragons in any way that Gary envisioned it, in any way that Dave Arneson envisioned it, or any of those earlier creators as well. It's certainly not where Robert Kuntz looks at it, and it's not what Tim Kask or Frank Mentzer looks at it either. And this isn't even a commentary on the basis of where they kind of stand in the social political spectrum either, because some of those individuals I am sure are on the on the left or even far left. But when they look at the way that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro has been a steward of the of the Dungeons and Dragons IP, even they can see what a um, absolute travesty it has been in the way that they treat it, and forget about the new picture that was put up, that image that was put up of the gay town, basically, with any other definition. It was just like the gay parade on full display, and how that's getting brutalized on X. I'll actually share that too. But it goes, yet wants your skinwalkers living inside the hollow shell, the hollow shell of D&D. Yes, I mean, absolutely. It's it's just a terrible stewardship. So I'll let DM James continue.
So kind of weird, it's kind of like a strange. I don't get it because if you love the D&D, Stranger Things is playing so much. Well, then why aren't you playing AD&D?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think the sixth iteration by a bunch of talentless hacks is better than the original? I don't get it. But then again, Gary's the kind of guy that'll tell you McDonald's hamburgers are the best hamburgers in the world because they sell more of them
Mm-hmm.
than, the hamburgers your mom makes for you. So now that was a dig, Garby. Don't get mad at me, but it's true. You seem to think just because they sell more than someone else that makes them better. And I'm sorry, sir, that is simply not true. It's like a lot of things sell really great that actually suck. So let's get to it though. Let's hear what he's got to say.
So you are looking at the cover of the
Okay, I had to turn captions on. He's quiet. We were looking at the cover of. I do like the cover though. I do have to admit that I like that cover art. It reminds me so much of BX art.
brand new Dungeons and Dragons Welcome to Hellfire Club. This is right in time, delivered perfectly so that when Stranger Things season 5, people can immediately like dive into Dungeons and Dragons exactly as it's presented in Stranger Things, which is
Not exactly home skillet. In
Exactly.
Stranger Things, they're playing AD&D.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly the point. That they're not going to see AD&D first edition. So James is spot on there.
Is this AD&D? Because if it's not AD&D, then it's not exactly like Stranger Things.
Mhm.
It's actually a completely different game
Mhm.
that uses completely different rules. So, I mean, that's your first mistake.
pretty incredible. This was extremely well timed. Joseph Quinn, who played Eddie Munson, is a massive Hollywood star right now.
Joseph Quinn, I'll have to look him up. I don't know who he is.
He has been in Fantastic Four. He had
Oh my God, is he the guy that played the Human Torch? That show sucked.
Yeah,
he
that
was in
movie
Gladiator
tanked.
2.
That movie was
Gladiator
horrible.
2, another movie that sucked.
He was in Warfare, and he's going to be in the upcoming new huge Hollywood hit where they're going to, or a Hollywood blockbuster attempt, might be an Oscar attempt, where he's going to play literally one of the Beatles. So
Which nobody will watch that movie. That movie's going to
Ugh.
suck too.
Well, first off, I never saw the war thing, and I mean, he's going to play one of the Beatles. I think they already did that once. It was called Hard Day's Night. But hey, whatever. Nothing's original, especially not 5e.
this is a huge, huge step forward for Dungeons and Dragons.
No, it's
So
not.
you are looking at the cover of the brand new.
All right, so that's the short. It's not a huge step forward. It's a stupid marketing ploy
Hmm.
from a company that has lost its soul long, long ago. And the fact that they're trying to latch on and be like, oh, Do you like Stranger Things, fellow kids? Perhaps you would like our shitty game, which has nothing in common with the game they're actually playing in Stranger Things. I mean, this is lame. And by this, I mean, like, the ideation behind this, the cover is actually really cool. And if this were a Dungeons and Dragons Welcome to the Hellfire Club Netflix Stranger Things AD&D box set or a reprint of BX or some shit like that, I would be all over it like a fat man loves cake. But it's just trying to package their new slop in old school art, because the people who work at Wizards of the Coast currently have no imagination. They fired everybody with an imagination, and now they're left with like no one of note.
Mhm.
So anyway, though, that said, I'm thumbs up in the video, Garby, because I mean, I know you're a goofball, but you're bro. So I'll thumbs up your videos and thank you for making it. I was unaware this existed, and now I am aware it existed. And it's pissed me off. I'm not ever going to play it because I don't like the rule set. But I do have to admit, I do like that art. That art is cool. Um, Even the dude in the center with the shirt, like looking all kind of like a thinner Danzig. That's kind of a cool layout. So I myself will kind of glaze this cover. The cover is cool. I like it. They did a great job. If only the rest of the art that they do could be as good as this, that would be absolutely amazing. However, like I said, don't be mistaken into thinking that this version of D&D is the version of D&D the kids in
Mhm.
Stranger Things are
Exactly.
playing, because it is not. The version that they're playing is AD&D First Edition, which is currently still available, much less expensive than 5, 6 edition, whatever, and in every way a better game. So now I think Garrity thinks that First Edition AD&D is OSR, but I don't understand how it could be OSR. It's literally, it's not old school revival or whatever. It's more like classic D&D. I mean, it is the original McCoy. It is the original thing. It's not like, Heartbreaker. It's not based on, it's not like, oh, let's make up Osric or whatever, OSE, Dragon Slayer, whatever you got. It's none of that. It is the original damn game.
Yep.
So, you would think a guy who's constantly talking about how great Dungeons and Dragons is would want to play the original version written by the original creator. But, like I said, Garby is a unique unicorn. And I wouldn't want to imagine a YouTube without the guy, honestly.
All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to. I mean, he's spot on. He's spot on with his, with his analysis of the, of the cover art and the fact that it's not the same game system that they are playing on Stranger Things. The one thing that I wanted to connect up with him was that it's the reason why they won't do it, as DM James was suggesting, is that they don't want to compete with that older IP. They know that they can't compete with that older IP, and so um, that's kind of where it stands. And it's a shame. It's a shame that Dungeons and Dragons doesn't have a better steward of its IP. It's it's a sad thing that they're more willing to leave money on the table than they are to to try to just go out on their out on that limb and say, hey, we have, these modern rules, and you might enjoy the modern rule set, but you might also enjoy playing, the older versions of the game system, the more basic rules of the game system, or even advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and second edition, and even third, 3.5, 4. They own it all, so it's like they'll make money from all of it if they just, and there's not a lot of effort that would actually take them to do to do new layouts, and to just format some of the rules a little bit better and whatnot, and still put it out there, get rid of that stupid disclaimer, and they'd make a fortune off it. They really would. They would make they would certainly bring it to the bank, laughing the whole way. Let's see. Yeah, it's that West Coast water. Well, more specifically, it is the, it is the, I guess Reading is on the outskirts of Portland, so, or is it Seattle? Yeah, I think it's Seattle actually. So it's just the area that they happen to be in that that is plagued with wokeism. That, bottom line, it's all about the woke. So let me bring up, since it's kind of connected, and I want to bring up, let's see if I can find, actually I'll probably find it faster if I go into my replies, and then I'll find that quickly. And here we go. So another share here. I'm just going to double check comments in here. So here comes another share. So this is the other thing that came out, and it gets brutalized on X. So I will share this and go a little bit into it. If you want to join in, I will put the I will put this up there, so you can join in if you want to come in and talk a little bit about this. And once I'm kind of done with this little rant here and everything, just going on the various things, if you want to add some suggestions of other game systems that people should be looking at, then certainly jump on in and say, hey, I've been playing this lately, and this is what I think about it. And they do some of that in this tweet as well. So without further ado, let me just jump right into that and share that. And so here we have, and I will try to make this a little bit larger so you can see. Let's see if I maximize this. Okay. And let's see. Nope, that doesn't work. So I do have to maximize this. And let's see if I can really expand this so that you can see. Let's see if that helps you. Yeah, a little bit. So so here we have, is this realm your story is yours to tell. In this realm, your story is yours to tell. And I mean, this has been just attacked left and right. Now, one of the things I really noticed was that this particular kobold, I believe it is supposed to be a kobold, has 4 or 5 different appendages here, not lined up at all. And I was like, my gosh, this crap art is actually still AI, because there are things that just don't match up. You can see the discrepancies in some people's feet, like that foot there is a malformed foot that's over here next to this um, dark-skinned woman. That's not even a brown or a black or whatever. I don't know what color that is. It's almost like a brownish purplish color. But anyway, and this is definitely purple. So I guess there's purple people there. But that boot right there, just beyond her, is a messed up boot here. So, and then here comes some of the things. This is a close up of this kobold here, and I don't know what the hell is going on here. I mean, is this something behind him? This just makes no sense whatsoever. Those look like two back legs, two hind legs going to nothing. And then you have a hind leg over here. And then you have an arm over here, no arm on the other side, unless that's supposed to be. It just doesn't make sense. Or the body's proportions are all out of whack. It's just terrible artwork. That's the deformed shoe I was talking about. That doesn't look right either. So it's AI. Yeah, I mean, the only other giveaways that it's AI is if you saw like 6 fingers on a hand or things protruding out of the body that they're not supposed to. So when I even said this here, that this was my response to it, this piece of shit art isn't even real, produced with AI. And I, of course, said that we needed to gatekeep. If we had gatekept half as much as they claim we did. But now we have to just hope that they settle with destroying D&D 5e and beyond and switch to something that's really good. Now, I love the fact that Troll Lord Games said in this realm, only mighty heroes will live to chronicle their saga, and the Eddas of which will be told unto the end of times, and their names reckoned for the ages. I mean, just compare the art between this crap. Not that this is a cover art or anything like that, but the point is that how can you compare? You cannot compare art to art here. Going on, even look at this art here. My story is an ancient tale of epic wonder and exploits, like this image from the first monster manual. That's me in the shiny armor fighting evil. All right. I mean, even make bikini armor great again. They're just brutalizing this in every single thing. Going on. What the fuck is that? Beholder. This has the same energy as when someone takes a beloved children's story that just hit the public domain and turns it into adult slasher film. La cringy Tumblr art. And it just goes on and on. I love these. I love these here. They have various creatures coming in and just destroying that whole village, which is the best thing that could possibly happen in those circumstances there. And they come out. Here's another attack. Now this is older art from 5th edition compared to the new. I mean, this is their agenda today, and this is pre-2019. Starting at 2019 and going forward, they just lost their minds at Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, so let me get to some of your comments here, and I'll continue going through that. Hey, how's it going, Longshot? I found the original author's site. The type of art is his regular. Oh my God, that's horrible. The current art will never be homaged like the 3 AD&D books were. Yeah. Never. They would never do what Troll Lord Games did. That's for damn sure. They would never do that. I mean, even look at this art here. Now, this is not going back to first edition. This is certainly a later edition, but just look at it. I mean, it looks awesome. I love the comment here too. Pro tip for the D&D art team: if your artwork doesn't look like something an 80s metal band would proud to use for their album cover, you're doing it wrong. And that's absolutely the fact. I mean, remember the Molly Hatchet album covers? Whether you liked Molly Hatchet or not, their album covers were off the hook crazy. I don't know what Georgia Melania has to do with this, but I mean, here's all of the great art from the past. It's like, this is the response, and one of these is from this is the one that's coming from a gay man. Please, as a gay man, I beg of you, stop representing me, please, for the love of Woden and Thunar. Stop. I can't take being represented anymore. You're representing me right out of my hobby. No, don't let them kick you out of the hobby. Just stop buying their shit. You know, get the older editions. Like DM James said in his video, you can get the first edition books on eBay for roughly the same price that they charge for the new stuff. So you can get those books for, $60 to $80 or so, and that's about the same price. Sometimes you could get them for cheaper than that. Now, you're not going to get the deities and demigods 144 page original printing for that kind of a price. You'll probably spend about 150 to 200 for that, but all the rest you can still get for a fairly reasonable price. And those books hold up for damn sure. They're not falling apart. I'm trying to enjoy whenever they continues to be gay and retarded. Yeah, I mean, they just keep on, it doesn't stop. The very, very few actually came in here. I recall just like one jumped in and said, hey, look at all you guys worrying, complaining about this. But let's see if this is the one. Yeah, that's not the one either. Evil monster capable of hypnosis, men acting in ways contrary to nature. It is. It's one after another after another. There isn't a single positive, and this is on their actual stream, their actual tweet stream, or whatever you call it. And and it's just totally ratioed. You can't go. You cannot go against this. Why must everything once designed for imaginative young white men have to be overtaken? Someone wants to join in, so let's see. Let's see how I do this. Here we go. Hey, Death Angels, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Good. Just having some fun here, doing an impromptu, and
Yeah, you threw me off. I'm like, wait a second. Does he?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was just, I've been playing like tag with DM James throughout the day. I was like, oh, I hope he comes on sometime in the morning. I was just like hanging out all day, and
Yeah.
then my wife gets home from work at like 3:40.
Yeah.
So and she was like, she was going to be home alone after my kids are out. My oldest daughter is in Paris, and my youngest one was off to the movies with a friend. So she was like, oh, can you just be home, downstairs for when I get home so we could spend a little time? And so that was exactly around the time that DM James actually went live on his show. So I was like, all right, well, we're going to play tag. And now I was able to go on around 7:30. So it was impromptu.
Yeah.
But
I've known I know what's funny is I know his wife.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
are right
yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah,
um,
yeah. My wife used to make subs for him
yeah,
when he was in the
yeah.
fire department. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Kind of
Uh,
funny, small world type stuff.
yeah, D&D was for nerds, and we enjoyed it. Now
Yes,
it
we did.
appears to be for the single polycule of diaper or polycule of diaper fetishes and Discord mods somewhere in Portland. I hope the generous billionaires, because I ain't buying. Yeah, and that's the thing. Now does this exist? If everyone in the kingdom is gay,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Maybe it's the beholder's fault. We'll just blame the beholder.
yeah, it's like, but I just love these
The
AI.
animated, yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's just crazy, and how fast they came out too. It's like insane.
yeah. I made a comment. You saw Rob Kuntz's post.
I didn't see Rob Kuntz's post like in this particular stream.
Well, so he got flagged, and because his post there wasn't really anything particularly bad. There's nothing I found offensive in what his post.
Right,
In fact, it was nicer than something I probably would have said.
right.
But yeah, he. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. He basically made a commentary on that picture, and it was pretty well thought out. Um, and then somebody replied to him, the most ridiculous reply ever,
Mm.
saying that maybe he should go read a book, a D&D book.
They didn't know who he was.
No,
Yeah,
no, yeah,
yeah.
uh, clearly. Oh my gosh! And of course, Grum's. Is it Grums or Grooms? Grums. I don't
Grums.
know.
I think it's Grums.
Yeah. He said he kind of pointed that out. You know, and a lot of people are like, "Yeah, it only takes 5 seconds." Well, it doesn't even take 5 seconds. It takes 1 second. Just hover over his name, and it says, he's got a little mini bio in there.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, I told him, I said, I would be honored to play in a game that you ran.
yeah,
Yeah, he liked it too. I was like,
yeah,
oh, well, that's cool.
yeah.
So
It's just yeah. I love this one too.
yeah, oh yeah, I love all these, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know they're using AI for that, but still, it's
It
fun.
doesn't matter. They used AI for the other one. Can't
Yeah.
tell me that the original wasn't AI.
Well, if you look at the author's site,
Yeah.
I hope first of all, don't have a weak stomach.
Mm.
Um, it's not all uh, tabletop related, but
I
it's all that orientation related.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need to.
Yeah, he's done
Yeah.
covers for books and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like young adult books,
Mhm.
or like don't kind. They say young adult, the kind that
Yeah, yeah.
preteens and might be reading. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
even
even worse.
cringy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, the thing is that we never cared what somebody did, or who they were interested, what their
Yeah.
political affiliation. We didn't care. I
No.
don't. They act like that. Well, now it's open to everybody, and it's like, no, no. Wait a second. We didn't. We just wanted people to game with, man. I didn't care what color you are. I didn't care who your parents voted for,
Yeah.
who you thought was hot or not, And most of us didn't have a shot at that point.
Yeah. It's just, um, yeah, this is just crazy stuff. But yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
totally ratioed. I mean,
Oh yeah.
completely
Oh yeah.
ratioed. There,
And so
there's not even
this pic
close.
yeah, this picture was actually done. It's surprising that it just came out, right? Because this picture was done for Watsy's 2024 Pride Day thing. And yet
Okay.
so it was actually done for last year, but it never came out. This is the first time we're seeing it. So I don't know if they swept it under the rug for a little while because, you know, they were. I don't understand. They held on to it, and then they decided to release it now. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't see Rob Kuntz's thing. Let me see if I can bring up his. Um,
If I can find it, I'll put it in the private chat for you.
let's see which one is his. It's not coming up.
If you want to see here, let me give you. I'll give you
I
this
don't know which
link.
one is his. I know I follow him.
Yeah, well, it got tagged, so
Yeah, but I'm not even bringing up his.
right. So
So
it's limited in view because somebody flagged it as offensive,
yeah,
which it's not. If you read it, it's not.
I'm sure it's not.
I
It's
dropped a link for
all right.
Grooms's response to it, and you can of
Okay.
course figure out where it's at from there.
Okay.
Did you see it in the private chat?
Yeah. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. So yeah, D&D is literally meant to be adjusted to your liking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's read a book, a D&D book. Facepalm. But it's got his post in there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not bad. I was
No,
arguing with
I'm
Grok
going to
about
share
it.
it.
Yeah.
I'll share it, and let's see. So here we have it, and I'm guessing reposting as an image, since the original repost was given limited reach by X for some strange reason. So I guess this is his. D&D has always been about participating in building and experiencing fantasy and not fantasies or fantasizing. It's about the fear and wonder of the unknown and not social, political, postmodern, and nihilistic claptrap. It's about adventure and the parties in arms who excel in such quests and not paper mache parties. Legends are born with the former, while the latter produces at best a gruel for the simple minded who have no anchorage to the myths, legends, and stories that birthed the genre and its subgenres. The latter's postmodern gobbledygook constructs the pillars of fantasy and mocks untold years dedicated to its classical beginnings and the creativity, wit, and imagination of its authors. It insults thousands of years of culture, literature, and folk tales while standing on their ashes like some uninformed, midget minded arsonists. It is an affront to truth in all cases, culturally and historically, and unlike the target it aims to impugn, mock, and destroy itself, will be consigned to the dustbin of injury. What the hell was the problem with that? There is not a single thing in there that is
Somebody had to flag
vulgar
it. Right.
or, I mean, nothing. The responses that I was showing over there with like advanced faggotry on the book
Right.
blinds, and there was far more,
Mhm.
Things than that they could be like, oh, this is an affront. None of this
Yep.
is, I mean, do they not understand what midget minded means? Is that what they were? I
Yeah,
mean,
that was one of the reasons that Grok gave, because I had
oh
to
yeah.
ask him, like,
But
yeah,
that's an expression that it has nothing to do with
apparently
with
apparently
dwarfism. It's like
yeah, apparently claptrap is a bad word.
claptrap is a bad word.
Yeah, apparently. And let's see, there was something else in there where he referred to. I think he used the word. No, I didn't see it in there, but the way I read it.
It was too well worded.
Yes.
That's the problem.
I mean, he even
By
has the.
somebody who is actually a fucking author of literature, right? And
You're
that's what
right.
threw them off. They're like, I can't explain, I can't understand this, so it's got to be bad.
I mean, he used accent marks on paper mache.
Mm.
I mean, I wouldn't do that.
It's
So
crazy.
yeah. Did
You
you
know, so
you see what this character that had sent this though? You see what he says? It was literally meant to be adjusted to your liking. Of course, he's
yeah,
yelling.
Nerd Card Cognito was in here
Yeah.
talking about it. I'm sure that
Oh,
this
lots of
book
us
called
are.
Sandy a Tourist. So I guess the wargaming guy is the guy that was attacking.
No. It was
Oh,
someone called Laz the Demonic.
oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even see that in there. So I guess
Um,
removed his response.
no, it's still there.
No,
Yeah.
oh, I don't see.
Go back to they're right there. Yeah, this is the
Oh,
original.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Post was written by someone who never played D&D. Cool. D&D literally meant to be adjusted to your liking. It's 1,000 times meant for fantasies. Read a fucking book in D&D. Yeah. Yeah, kind of crazy.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of crazy.
maybe he should.
Yeah.
Or did I assume genders?
Oh, it's probably, can I bring up this guy? Laz the Demonic. No.
No, it's an image. So
Yeah, it's an image, so I can't do it. Well, that's easy to do.
probably everybody's
There we go.
blocked.
So let's see. General contractor plus potential streamer, Twitch forever, PvP made for Dr. Pepper drinker. All right, so not a whole string of pronouns or anything. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm surprised. Not a bunch of
4 hours ago.
So the harassment I've already gotten for making one satire tweet. No, that wasn't a satire tweet.
Mm-mm.
Don't try to claim it was satire. It was an actual attack. I was paying for that check mark. I'd be able to retire by 18. Thanks, Grums.
I don't know. I have a check mark too.
Yeah,
I pay for a check mark. I don't get paid for it.
Yeah,
I pay for it.
yeah. That's absolutely crazy. People just want to be stupid and get butthurt for no reason. No.
I think Laz is the one who got butthurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't including a gay couple in a center of a town. It was including a gay town in the center of what should be D&D. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it wasn't one issue. It was 1,000 issues in that image.
It was celebrating the lifestyle. Yeah. Which, like I said, I've played tabletop games with people that were of that persuasion.
Yeah, if they're able to play, who cares?
I don't care. Whatever. Don't expect me to kowtow or cater to it, but whatever. I've had a lot of players that like to play female characters too. That are male, and I've had female characters that like to play male characters.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
As long as it's not a trend.
Yeah,
and I'm saying, like, I recently had a player who was, male player who was always playing female, and it kind of started getting kind of weird, and I was like, you know what? When you're always playing it that way, and it's only a matter of time before they take it to a new extreme,
Well, especially when they try to turn the game from what it's supposed to be, or
Right.
what it's intended to be, or
Yeah.
at least used to be intended to be,
Yeah.
into something that's uh,
Yeah.
the
I'm here
whole
to
the whole
express
reason the
myself.
X
Yeah.
cards
I'm
came
here
out.
to express myself. Yeah. Once it becomes, oh, I don't care what anybody else's character wants to do. It's all about me and, and my, my desires and my transition and my whatever,
Right.
that I have had that devolve to that direction. So when I kind of see it, it starts becoming a red flag when I see it over and over again.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know what? I think that this is going to take a left turn real fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, Ryan likes to call them sparkle trolls.
Mm,
Nerd Cognito, Ryan David.
yeah,
He
yeah.
and
That's an expression that's been around for quite some time too.
yeah, you
You know,
know,
so
but the thing is it's like it's just like we saw in pop culture when finally there's a female superhero, blah blah blah, and it's like,
mm,
I was alive in the 70s. I remember Wonder Woman.
yeah,
I remember Linda Carter being Wonder Woman.
yeah.
What are you talking about? You're not the first. I think that was what's her name, that played Carol Danvers.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah.
yeah. It's like they always think they're the first, and it's like, did you study your history there? Apparently,
Yeah.
just like this poster. He
Yeah.
obviously, or they obviously did not.
Had
They
no idea. Yeah, had no idea who Robert Kuntz was.
You're right, right.
Which is just insane to me.
Yeah, and
know?
just and to try out,
Yeah.
and then to start try and say that people got butthurt about it.
Oh,
No,
it
no,
was
no, no.
satire. Oh
You
no,
got butthurt.
I'm really
People.
kidding. It was satire. No, it wasn't.
That was not satire. That was not
Satire.
written in satire.
Yeah, yeah. That was just misinformed and reactionary.
Yeah.
As he was probably claiming that others were reactionary. That's certainly where he was.
Yep.
So anyway, uh, yeah. So I mean that's another thing that has been circling around for the last couple of days across so many
Mhm.
people's YouTube channels and everything. So I decided I was gonna let me respond to the box openings of these various things. I know Joe the lawyer actually did a great video opening up the other starter box, and he was like, "It's a board game." It was like it's not D&D. It's not a tabletop RPG. It's a board game.
It is.
So, yeah, I mean, I have a Conan. I have a Conan board game over here that has almost identical the same kind of things in there. It's like the place cards for the characters, and
Mhm.
then you would put tokens on the cards to represent various things. We got another person looking to join, so let me
Cool.
bring in. Hey, it is James.
There
Awesome.
he is.
There he is.
I should have DM'd him.
Is this echoing too much for you guys? Or?
Not right now. It seems to be a little bit better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
How you doing, Death Angel? It's been a minute, man.
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
Hey, that's all you can do. So
Yeah.
I spoke a little bit about you earlier, Richard. I was hoping you'd pop in.
Yeah, I know. I saw it, and you went online just as I went downstairs because my wife was getting home from work, and I was like, oh,
And I was only on a little bit because my
Yeah.
wife had fixed a special dinner for me, and
Oh,
it
that's
was
nice.
like, and she said at 5:00, so it was like it's 5, I'm out, So,
So
but I know you wanted to talk about the. I made one today too. He has a whole video about whether or not you should or should not fudge dice. It's like,
yeah, that's another interesting topic. But
Yeah, it is.
basically, I was listening to what you were saying in the response, and I mean, putting the only kind of dice rolls that I will change as a dungeon master or game master is the encounter rolls. that when I'm doing an encounter, like a random encounter, and I don't like what comes up because it just doesn't kind of fit
It doesn't
the
fit. Yeah.
situation. But all of my combat rolls and everything like that are done out. Well, I'm playing virtually, online. But when I go to conventions, yeah, I might put the GM screen there, and all that is blocking from view is my notepad where I have the monster's HP written down,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I'm taking them off and everything like that, or possibly my the actual adventure that they're running, my notes on it or whatnot. But all of the rolls are done in person, like in view, in plain view. So
Mhm.
if I'm rolling a 1, they can see, hey, that creature just fumbled. If I roll a 20, they're like, oh shit, it's coming down. It's coming at us now. Kind of thing. So yeah, I do all my combat rolls in plain view.
So you're an in the open kind
See,
Oh
of.
yeah, in the
I'm an
open.
evil guy. I make the players roll for wandering encounters.
Oh wow.
And let me tell you, when you're running B2 Keep on the Borderland and they
Mhm.
roll that 2 dice 6 whites,
Yeah,
that shit can get iffy. It's time to run, really, is what that is.
it's like
Because there's
uh,
no 1 through 3rd level group of characters that's
do
going
they
to 12 whites.
do they have level drain?
yeah,
They do,
Yes.
my
Yeah.
man. Plus, they're just
Yeah.
badasses.
If you're playing, as long as you're not playing the whatever we call this latest edition version of
No,
Return to
I'm
the
talking
Borderlands.
AD&D.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
a white is like a 3-hit die beastie boy who would level drain and all kinds of shit.
yeah,
And in the B2 Keep on the Borderland, if you roll the 3rd Wandering Monster chart, because there's 3,
yeah.
Mhm.
the very one of the encounters is 2 dice 6 whites.
Which you got to run from.
Which, yeah, because Gary
Yeah,
Gygax
yeah. You
intended
can't fight it.
players to run
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
Everything's not to be fought.
Yeah. You're not a superhero.
And where
You might
those
be
2 dice 6
heroic.
whites are hanging out all day,
yeah.
I don't know. It's like they just pop out of the ground like mushrooms or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm going to ask. It's been a while since I've looked at it. Do whites train 2 levels?
They might, and if they
I
kill
think
you,
they
you
do.
come back the next night as a
Yeah.
white.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they're 2 levels of.
They are badass beasts.
I'll I mean, 40 years ago, when I played Ravenloft, there's one where you get teleported on top of the white inside its casket.
Oh no!
So it's just like boom, and you just boom, you're level drained and you're laying on top of the freaking thing, and then you have to try to break out of the thing while it mauls the shit out of you and everything else. Like,
Was
all right,
was
that
this
guy's dead.
so this must have been, was that the second edition Ravenloft?
Oh, that was the first edition Ravenloft.
In Ruins of Adventure, when you go into the graveyard, and that's Flan on the Dragon Coast or whatever, it's like the closer to the center you get, it goes from skeletons to zombies to like every encounter is like a mob of whites.
Yeah.
And then eventually you get like wraiths and specters. And then if you're really
Yeah.
lucky, you might find that freaking vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got like 3 caskets hidden. So there's no guarantees how that's going to work out for you,
Okay, so vamps are 2 levels, whites are 1, is
Yeah.
what Earthbound
Okay.
is saying.
But
Oh, is it?
still, I
All right.
mean, you
I knew
could roll
something
that
with 2
encounter
levels.
as a group of
I just
level
can't
1
remember
players.
what.
Sorry, Richard.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I was just saying you could roll those whites up as level 1 players.
Yeah.
And that means if it hits you, you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A hit's a kill no matter how many hit points you got. You're just
Yep.
done. And then the next night, you come back and now you're a white. Yay. Yeah, vamps are the worst. I mean, they
Yeah.
got that badass charm spell. If they meet your gaze,
Well,
they can drain levels. They can
and-
drain con and cast spells and turn to mist.
And Ghost,
I mean,
Ghost age you what, 40 years?
oh yeah, they are. Oh, there's
Ghost
Decado.
age
What
you
up,
40
Decado?
years.
Hey, Decado.
So unless you're an
And
elf,
Coco
well,
beware.
and
ghosts are pretty brutal unless you're an elf or a dwarf. Even halflings are,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I mean,
harmed by them pretty good.
I mean, Strahd
rates,
himself is tied to the plane itself, or to
yeah, like
so
rates are like 2 levels, I think,
I don't even
to
think
get.
you're
Yeah, I'd have to
yeah.
look them all up.
I'd
You're
have to
not
look
supposed
it up, but they're ethereal.
Yeah,
They can only be hit with like magic and
magic
blah
or
blah
yeah.
blah stuff.
Yeah, and it's I mean Strahd is supposed to you are not supposed to be able to kill Strahd. He will come
Well,
back no matter what.
the
yeah.
thing about the original Ravenloft that so many people love, and it's not even in my top 5 for adventures, but it is interesting that they made it where Strahd is not linked to any particular location.
Hmm.
Hmm.
He's constantly just wandering around that castle somewhere. So your players, in theory, could travel all over Strahd's castle and never see the guy because he
Yeah.
Right.
might be somewhere else.
Hmm.
Or you could walk in the front door and, hey, guess who's here?
Guess who's in the
Freaking Strahd. You know,
Welcome to my house.
welcome to my house.
I've been expecting you.
Yeah, we all got to work on our like crappy Euro trash
You're right.
Southern Slav
Yeah, yeah,
freaking
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
accent. Creatures of the night, shut up.
Oh
Oh,
god.
so rates are level 1, 2.
Yeah,
Like all that level drain stuff. I mean, 5e players just cried so much about it, so they tuck it out, or 4e.
yeah.
But in the old days, I mean, if you had a good cleric, I mean, they could have what was it called?
Restoration, but that's
Yeah.
Restoration.
that's a
Get your
high
level
level
back.
Well,
spell.
there was restoration and true restoration. Wasn't
Yeah,
there?
Right,
but that
right.
was a high level spell. You know, you needed like a 12th or a 14th,
I was gonna say I think it required in
12th level, I think.
third edition required true restoration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're missing, whether it's like
Mhm.
attributes or levels. And
Mhm.
also there's like I think a costly like physical component to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you allow like raise dead in your game or resurrection or whatever,
Mhm.
that's like a what 1,000 gold piece diamond or something
Or more.
to
Yeah.
cast that
Might be
spell.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy,
Well,
man.
my DM back in the in our AD&D time frame, he didn't allow resurrection. There was one time we begged him. One of our players begged him for to resurrect his main character. Because he brought his main character on on one of those adventures. I forget which one it was, where his main character died, and he was like, "Oh, please, please, please," So we got this rumor of a scroll of resurrection and blah blah blah. And where does he put it? The Tomb of Horrors. It was in the Tomb of Horrors, and we lost. He was like, "Now I'm telling you right now, don't go into this module with your main characters." And we're like, "Okay, all right, we'll have our secondaries go into this thing," and it's a total party wipe the first time we went in. And then we're like, all right, fuck it. We're going to go in there with some of our main characters. And we went in, and 2 out of the 5 characters died already. And I was like, nope, I'm out of here. I was a thief. I think it was like, at that time, it was like 10th or 11th level, going in there. And I was like, I'm out of here, bugging out. And then
Yeah, and to think that they're
all
like,
we're like, nope, we're not going back in there again. That's one of the few adventures that we never completed. And
I mentioned that in the thing. I said, stupid players get killed. If you see a green
yeah,
demon head on a wall, don't run up
yeah,
and stick your head in there because I mean, now
You
you're dead.
might
But
lose it.
Decado talks
yeah,
about he likes attribute drain.
yeah,
Attribute drain is more dangerous than level drain
yes,
because it can F up high level characters way
Mhm.
more than level drain. If you're
yes,
level 10, you lose a level, you're like, okay, that sucked.
yeah,
But if you lose like an amount of constitution, I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Imagine if you're a paladin and you lose any amount of charisma.
Oh
You're
yeah.
no
yeah.
longer
Now
a
all of a
paladin.
sudden you're just
Yeah,
like,
you're no longer a paladin. Now you're a fighter. You know
so
what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like, yeah. If you go below those class requirements, you lose your entire class.
Yep. So I mean, honestly, what Dakota's talking about is over the long run of a game more like balanced. because that level drain at low levels
Mm.
sucks way more than at high levels, but attribute drain sucks all the way around
Yeah.
all the time. So
You know what's worse
Yeah.
than level drain? All right. I don't know how familiar you guys are with MMOs, but in EVE Online, if you didn't have your clone backed up to your current
Oh my
experience
God.
points, you could lose millions of experience points.
Yeah.
And at that time, like when people weren't walking around with like billions of experience points, because the game was fairly young, at that time. I think the one time that I lost it, you were literally losing weeks, if not months, of gameplay that you were paying for. I was like, wow, it's that's a big deal to lose that kind of. So that's kind of like the equivalent of level drain, but losing experience points was
Oh yeah. Because
hell.
you had to pay ISK to get your clone
Yeah,
back up.
yeah. Well, no, not just that. Because ISK is free. You earn it in the game. You had to gain those experience points back through time.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
I'm saying before you
yeah,
die, if you don't keep your
yeah.
clone up to
Oh, yeah,
date,
yeah, yeah,
you could lose.
yeah.
I played the game, I think, Caldor.
Hmm.
The guys that, well, my character had a shaved head with a bunch of tats on his head.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I ended up, my favorite frigate was like the missile boat. I
Hmm.
forget the name of it, but no, that was 15 years ago. You're totally right though. If you
Yeah.
don't keep the insurance paid up and you wander into a low law zone and someone from another faction happens through, it can be over quick. I mean, and you're
It's
just hosed.
the level drain is what it's doing. It's not really removing your memories and life experience. It's removing your essence of life.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what it's really doing, is it's sucking the positive energy out of your body.
I mean, thinking about Decado is 100% right. Attribute drain makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because if it's taken, like if the white hits you and it removes die 6 con points,
Mm-hmm.
that makes a lot more sense because you are literally withering up. But, Gygax put in level drain. So when I run AD&D, that's what I do. I do like the Hyperborea game, but I have not got to run it at all. And I own the collector's edition with the fake leather cover and all that. It's an interesting, weird world, too. It's like a flat world that's kind of floating around Jupiter or Saturn or some shit. And you can play like a Celt or a Byzantine cataphract or something.
I'm gonna look up whites in Dragon Slayer and see.
You know, the scariest thing about whites is in the village of Hamlet, that dude's hairdo. Like the halfling and the fighters fighting that white, and the white's got like the wildest punk rock hairdo ever, and it's coming after him.
So, so drains 1 experience level. Player characters are reduced to the minimum experience for that level plus 1 experience point. If reduced to level 0, the victim dies and rises as a wraith in 1 day.
Ooh. OG Off-Grid Gamer is playing some AD&D tonight at 9:30. Nice, homie.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Dragon Slayer really is just it's pretty close to AD&D. It really is.
Yeah.
There's some changes, but it's
I'm starting to work through. I'm starting to go through it. I'm starting to.
Oh yeah, nice. You got the hardcover too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice book.
Yeah. So I met him at the Central New York RPG Con back in June, and although his boxes of books didn't arrive, so I had to actually order it from him there, and then it took a couple weeks because he was on vacation. But I think by July or August, like early August, I think it arrived. And
yeah, Dr. Gillespie is pretty much a badass in the OSR world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barrow Maze and all that. I mean, it's just like the dude is he knows his stuff. I think whites and OSE are level drainers too.
Yeah, they probably are, because that's just a um, that's just a what you call it, a
That's just a BX
building off
clone.
of. It's, yeah, well, no, it's a combination of which one is Holmes and AD&D First Edition. Maybe it's Dragon Slayer. Is
Yeah, I
Holmes and
think it's
AD&D.
Dragon Slayer
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
OSC is Moldvay Cook, and then they AD&Dized. It's
yeah,
still DX, but they let you do
yeah,
class plus level. Um, and it started out as the dude who made it. It was
yeah,
just all of his notes that he took while he was running BX over these years, and one day he looked at all the notes he had took, his like little reference books, and he's like, I might as well just publish this because I mean, he practically wrote his own game,
Yeah,
which he
I jumped.
didn't. But
I
Oh
got
man,
in
yeah.
on.
You should have gone to one of those if it was only 90 minutes away, off grid.
I
oh
got.
yeah, if it were 90 minutes away, I'd have went.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd pay for a day pass just to go in, and that's it.
See, I
Yeah.
lucked out with the Hyborian game or whatever because I jumped on it really early on when it was in Kickstarter. So I got the leather-bound collector's books, then I've got the normal hardbound book, then I got like the campaign folio and a big freaking map that's like the old Greyhawk map, but it's like the hex map.
Yeah.
I mean, and the guy signed the collector's books.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
guy who
Yeah.
actually created the game, uh, so I mean, I love the look of it. It's just I just never got a chance.
I mean, I've got Dragon Slayer. I got Barrowmaze with it too.
Oh
Of
my
course,
goodness.
yeah. I mean, I got another Kickstarter for that. Of course, I want to say, was it the drive-through print on demand that did it, that printed it?
I think both of mine through drive-through print on demand. The
I,
hardcovers and I got the deluxe borrow maze. So, but the borrow maze I got, it says suitable for use with old school essentials. So it's kind of weird, because it was way before he had made his own game.
right, right, and that's the same thing with this. I think in the Kickstarter you had a choice between that one and what's the Elven one that he had came up with.
Mm.
I have to look up.
Someone just mentioned OSR, and I'm looking to see when is it. It's only in Massachusetts. When is it?
Yeah. A white draining die 4 con. Man, if you're a cleric or somebody with a low con, that is going to hurt. Especially since I think whites get 2 attacks around, don't they?
Oh, it's in April.
So
It's in April. That's
that
the
could
one
be.
thing. I'm already tired. I'm sorry. I'm talking over you. I'm looking
No,
at
you're not.
OSR on right now,
I'm
and
rambling to myself, Richard. You're
yeah.
fine.
So
I'm
I
just
was
rambling.
like, all right. I'm looking it up and seeing when it is, and it's the weekend before Rising Phoenix. And this year I'm going to Rising Phoenix.
Oh,
Next
nice.
year maybe I'll take a look at it.
Well, I mean, my homie Bear is going to Claricon. I think he said he's going to
And where is
Claricon.
Claricon?
Claricon is somewhere in Canada,
Oh,
and
no.
it's ran by the Dungeon Minister. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Claricon, since it's being
Yeah.
ran by, a Church of England priest.
Claricon, yeah.
And the old geek's gonna be there. Mage's Musing is gonna be there. I mean, so a lot of people we would call luminaries of the talking shit about RPGs will be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean,
I think it was Doro Deep was the option. The other option. It was either Barrowmaze or Doro Deep that you
yeah,
could choose from.
Borrow Maze is set in the swamp, and Dwell Deep is like he said, a dwarven mine. But they're both basically just big mega dungeons that
Yeah.
you could play for like
I
Glen
need to.
Williams, Ontario. Yep.
I need
There
to
you go.
get it. I need to get the other one because I've got Barrowmaze. I need to get. I need to get. Oh, what is this one? Forbidden Caverns of Archala.
Forbidden Caverns of Sajkan.
No.
No,
I mean,
It's a Lost Caverns. Lost
that's
Caverns.
Lost Caverns. Yeah.
Lost Caverns. Yeah.
My group went through that, and then they woke up the vampire chick, but then the cleric turned her. So she ran away. So they used a teleport spell to get away. So she's out there in the wild, somewhere in Greyhawk, roaming about, and probably pretty pissed off. And then they, ran back down to Killland because they're all from the Sheldamar Valley region. So like, the Uliks and Killland and all that. So yeah. Lost a couple characters in there. Actually, the Bodak in that adventure is like just kill characters. I mean, because it hides amongst all the corpses, and you don't have to look at it. It looks at you, and then you make a death save. So you're wandering around looking at rocks and shit, and I'm sitting here being like, oh, okay, make a death save. Okay, make a death save. Every round, somebody's making a death save, and then eventually they figured it out.
So the Kickstarter had the option. You got to choose Barrowmaze, Archaea, Highfell, or Dwaro Deep. And I said, well, I don't have any of those, so let's start off with Barrowmaze because everybody talked about that one.
Well, that's the one. Death Angel, that's the one everyone would tell you.
Yeah.
And it really is good. There's pits in Barrowmaze that have no bottom. So if you fall in them, you actually will die of dehydration. That sucks.
And still be falling.
And still be falling as a withered up, dehydrated corpse. It's pretty wild, man. Bubbo runs that game for his group he's running right now. And every week, Letholdis or Timmy tells me about somebody's character dying.
Yeah.
It's
you won't believe who died today.
Yeah, he'll log on and be like, well, I lived, but the cleric got killed. And I'm like, damn, guys, calm down.
Brutal.
But he's lost a lot of characters, too.
So. I was given Chuck from Trollord. He's up there at the con this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already he messaged us, a couple of us and said, oh, I got some I already killed a whole group of players, characters. And I was
I'd be like, hold on a second, what did you say?
But Chuck's good people.
Well, both of the Troll Lords are cool guys.
Well, Chuck actually lives probably closer to me than any of the other ones, because I think he's like in the Tennessee Virginia line or something like that.
Yeah.
But I keep on trying to we keep on trying to plan to do a FLGS demo. Kind of. There's a couple of us that are trying to put together some stuff like that. Cool. But we got to figure out the schedule. So
I have my first printing, Castles and Crusades Players Handbook.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to buy the white one box with the like AD&D covers. Am I going to run Castles and Crusades? Maybe not. But I love the art? Yes.
Yeah.
Those things are just amazing. So
yeah, they do great art.
Which is what I was talking about with Gareby. The Hell Club, whatever.
Yeah, the Hellfire
That's
Club.
actually good art. Wizards Coast actually put decent art on a product. And like I said in that video, if it had been AD&D reprinted in that box or BX or something, I'd been all about it. Like Fat Man on Cake, man. I'd been like, hell yeah. And I don't even know who something Munson is because I don't watch that stupid
Eddie
shit.
Munson. But
the freaking art on that box set is actual good D&D art. So they can do good art. I just don't know why they keep choosing not to.
Well, the question is, who did it? Did they do it, or did Netflix have something to do with it, or maybe it had to go through a higher level approval process, than their normal garbage.
Is that box set is not on? Is it a box set?
Yeah,
it's a box set. It's
not
like
on
the
Amazon.
new starter.
It's but it's not the starter set that is returned to the Borderlands or whatever.
Oh God.
That one is literally a
game. So it is $44 on. It's $44 here. Let's see.
It's
See,
supposed to.
I'm not
It's a
ever going to
freaking
buy
it's
it.
a board game again. It's
Is
the
it?
same as the other. Yes. It's I'm looking at it. It's all cards and tokens, and there is a map that is laid out in front of you. It is a board game. So
Well,
Well, I'm
and,
never going to buy it, but I can appreciate the fact that they at least did some decent art. It looks
yeah.
not
yeah.
even kind of similar to
So
Arrow
here
Otis.
I will share it with you here, and you can see
Oh yeah,
now
you're right.
it is a board game.
It's a board game. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it even has little.
Well, I mean,
You know, if that was actually a board game like the old Dungeon board game, I'd probably buy it
yeah.
because I like the old Dungeon board game.
that's the way they're going, and I don't know if they're consulting the same people that the critters are.
Is this all adventures that comes with it? I guess.
It's supposed to be the adventure that the kids were playing in the series that got interrupted.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a high level adventure because I mean they were fighting Demogorgon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So I mean, if
yeah.
that's all the stuff in the
I have the
box, I
first.
mean,
I have the first one, the red box that they came out with,
Right.
which was
Well,
Mike's
let's
home
see.
adventure from the first season, and it came with a Demogorgon.
It must go through a number because I see on this orange one here, Scream of the Crow, I guess it is an adventure for level 2 characters. So it must go up in levels.
see
Yeah.
why I don't understand why they didn't just print that as a BX game. You know, everybody would buy
I
it.
I
Yeah.
explained that in the early part before you got here. The reason why is James that they do not want to compete with the authors of TSR. They can't. They
They
can't
can't.
compete with them.
Yeah.
They can't compare. They can't compete with them, and so that's why they don't do it. Because what they
Lisa,
should have done with the first Stranger Things starter box was that should have been a reprint of D&D BX. All right, 1983 D&D BX, the starter set, the base basic. That's what it should have been. And then this one should be a reconstituted AD&D first edition, because that is what they're playing. Like you pointed out in your video, that's exactly what they're playing. They're playing an AD&D first edition.
I love reminding Garby of that.
They've missed the boat on everything.
Yes.
Because he's constantly bringing up Stranger Things, and I'm constantly being like, you know, they're playing AD&D, right?
You're talking about
They're not playing your
JSG.
shitty 5e, 6e, whatever. They're playing AD&D.
You're talking about Garibay.
Yeah.
And I even posed a question, which I'm friendly with the guy. It's like, how can you? I mean, is AD&D first edition OSR? I mean, it doesn't seem like it can be OSR since it's the original.
Right. If it depends on which OSR you're talking about. If you're talking about old school revival,
Right.
See, in that case, the old school revival is not a is not a design. It's a philosophy. Old school revival means, like the word revival, right? You
Right.
are reviving the old. You are playing the old edition. All right, that's what old school revival means. Like I get into this with people all the time. I'm like, revival has a meaning. Renaissance has a meaning. The meanings actually make sense when you apply them that way. So this is a Renaissance. Why?
Okay.
It is like 90% whatever the AD&D edition or the Dungeons and Dragons edition was, and then 10% is new. All right. And that's what a Renaissance was. The Renaissance was taking from the Greek culture, the Greek philosophies, the Greek understandings,
Yeah,
and
expounding upon Aristotle.
then adding some more modern Middle Ages, but still modern, late Middle Ages, I should say, the modern philosophies.
The history teacher comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but revival was we have to get back to the way it was. All right. And so that's where, OSR, it's OSR to play the older editions.
But so you're making a distinction that I think a lot of people haven't. A lot of people just equate to say OSR is OSR, and it doesn't matter whether you say revival, Renaissance, or there was
Well,
another one I heard.
yeah.
And so I think that's an excellent observation, though, Richard. I really I really think maybe we should tell Tenkar that and see what they say. That'd be
I've heard it both
years.
ways. I've
I've
heard
been
it both
saying it that way
ways.
for years.
Yeah.
And I've said it to Eric too. I was like, no, this is, those words have meaning, and you should be using those words that have meaning. And when you say, old school rules or old school role playing, you're talking about the style of play. When you're talking about old school Renaissance, you're talking about a newer modern game, whether it's Dragon Slayer or Shadow Dark or any of those other ones that are retro clones, are all Renaissance.
Okay, and so what do you consider CNC?
The CNC is
Renaissance?
Yeah, it's a Renaissance plus because it uses a dramatically different system for its resolutions. The Siege engine is
Right.
a clear breakaway from that, makes it more than just a 10% difference.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's a quasi. Now it's considered OSR.
Yeah, he
considered the first OSR.
It is definitely old school in play.
Yeah.
Even if the rules are based more on third edition than maybe AD&D, but the feeling is definitely old school.
Yeah, it's a combination of Renaissance and rules. You cannot be old school, Renaissance, and revival. They don't match. You know what I'm saying? So a game system cannot be both a Renaissance and a revival. That's an oxymoron, basically.
Because one tries to predominantly bring back the original, whereas the other one, or recreate the original.
Yes.
Whereas the other one is inspired by it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I totally
I like
agree
that.
with that.
I think that's that's an excellent observation, and I think maybe we should go out there and start proselytizing that.
I think anything TSR did is OSR. Pretty much if TSR did it, it's OSR.
Yeah. I pretty much use like the
or classic D&D,
the plus 30 year kind of thing. So I also think that OSR is something that is going to continue going forward, right?
So at some point,
eventually, 3E is going to be OSR.
Don't tell them that.
It'll be OSR by maybe 2045 or so.
Yeah, thankfully I won't be around for that.
You know what gets me to that is both comic book industry, right? What is Silver Age, what is Golden Age, what is Diamond Age? You know what I'm saying? And also music.
I hope I'm around.
So also music, because when
well, you're younger than me.
One day on a Sunday morning, for whatever reason, I put on an AM radio channel, driving someplace, I forget, and they're like, "Oh, the rock and roll morning oldies," and I was like, "Awesome!" And this is a couple of years ago. Probably
what do you consider oldies?
7 years ago, and it was about 6 or 7 years ago, and Motley Crue came on, and I was like, "Oh my God,
that's not old."
I was like, Motley Crue is on the morning oldies. Don't I feel old now? Because that was from my latter teen years in junior high or high school when they first came out. And I was like, if that's the morning oldies, and many years later, when I started looking at this whole concept of the OSR, I was like, you know what? Someday 5e is going to be considered OSR, just like music becomes oldies. That will be the old system too.
The oldest I ever felt was when I got into an elevator and I heard a Muzak version of Metallica playing. And
See,
I said, "Oh my God, what has
yeah,
happened?"
you're old now. Okay, Bloodworth. Here's the thing, though. I love the comparison to the music,
Mhm.
but there's some music like Zeppelin that people listen to and will listen to for like ever, and then
Yeah.
there's some music that I can't name right offhand, like I don't know, Pussycat Dolls or Spice Girls or some shit,
Mhm.
and it's just going to die, and no one will give a shit about it. And
I think
5e,
most
I think, is that. It's junk pop bullshit, and eventually it's just going to die. But first edition will always be
four
around.
four four E
It's
is
like the
definitely
Led
like
Zeppelin.
that. Four E is definitely like that. I think the first printing of 5E will be fine. The problem
Well, if
is
you
this
just use the 3-4
2024
books,
crap.
it wasn't bad.
Yeah. No, and it was good, and I ran it for, God, what, a decade?
Yeah, well,
I
I ran it
mean,
for about 2
almost.
years, and then Tasha's came out, and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, Tasha's is pretty much that was what I considered
Started the downfall.
5.5. Tasha's was 5.5, and at that
Yeah,
point, it jumped the shark.
Yep.
yeah, it was over. So
Tasha
that's what I think of
was the
5e. I
beginning
think
of the end.
5e is like crappy junk pop music that you might hear on the radio, and then after a couple of years, you'll never hear it again. Whereas, like first edition AD&D, that's like Motorhead, Mozart, Mendelssohn. To quote Red Dwarf, I mean those are classics.
Four
100 years from now, people will still be playing that and
4E
arguing about alignment and encumbrance.
4E is starting to become looked at in a better light because D&D 2024 is
It's
such
so
crap.
bad.
Well,
Yeah.
It's almost
it's like
like
Star Wars. It's like
it's
the sequels were so bad that people started thinking the prequels were good.
I
yeah,
mean, the prequels
the prequels weren't that bad.
they weren't that
You know,
bad. The third one was the best of the prequels, but the
Yeah, but what
first
I'm
one
saying
the
was
though
second
is
one sucked.
goofy.
Yeah, Clone Wars sucked.
everyone
But,
hated the prequels, and then the sequels come out, and everybody was like, "Hold on a second here, guys.
Hold my beer.
Maybe those prequels weren't that bad."
you could watch The Phantom Menace and you could watch Revenge of the Sith and the Attack of the Clones. Just watch the cartoon Clone
Yeah.
Wars and
So
fill that in there, and then
so
you're good.
the problem with Clone Wars was they tried to shove too much romance in there, and it got overly, it just like drug on,
Yeah.
and even some that too much
Mhm.
political stuff. It kind of like got it made it drag.
It's
Yeah.
like, stop trying to be Star Trek. You're
Yeah,
Star Wars.
right. Be
Yeah.
Star Wars. We want heroes, man, and whatever.
The
But
But
thing
it did
I
have
liked
one of the
about,
best
the one
themes
thing I
ever.
liked about
it
the
did.
prequels was that it made you, like, if you really understood it, it made you realize that the Jedi Council was a shit bureaucracy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was like, I was like, wait a second, the Sith code is a far better code than the Jedi code. You know what I'm
The
saying?
rule of two,
Yeah.
always two.
Well, the Sith code is the whole. How does that go? It's like uh, anger makes
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
stronger,
It's
and
like, no, well,
strength makes
passion.
me
They didn't say
whatever,
anger.
and
They said
passion,
passion.
and
Yes.
the
Yeah.
You know,
Force will break my chains, and I'll be
yes,
free, and all this
exactly.
and that.
You know, it's
Um,
actually a better code than the Jedi code when you read them side by side.
and
Well,
Count Dooku was not a bad guy, really.
at
I
first,
mean, Christopher
yeah.
At first,
Lee,
yeah.
by the
Yeah.
way, but I
Yeah.
mean, but besides that, if you look at the stuff he actually did in the movie, it's not like he was running around eating children and shit. He
Yeah.
was just like a duelist that
Yeah.
happened to, But the scene where the clones are marching onto the proto star destroyers, and it goes
Yeah.
from the
Dooku was
one theme, and
essentially,
then all of a sudden
yeah.
you hear the dun dun dun.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
Yeah.
If
Dooku
only the
was
whole
essentially
series could
Saruman,
be done.
right?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You
Yeah, you
know?
got Saruman, but he's got a lightsaber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duel.
It was basically the same character, right?
Well, I mean,
Basically the same
Christopher
character.
Lee, he was truly one of the great human beings of
Oh yeah. Yeah.
his entire era, maybe even Earth. I love
I mean,
the
I-
story how he explained to Peter Jackson how a man sounds when you stab him in the neck.
yeah.
And Peter Jackson's like, what? And he's
But he
like,
was
yeah,
the
this is what they sound like. And it's because he knew
he was the first
British SAS in World
SAS.
War
Yeah.
II and shit like that. Like, he was constantly infiltrating occupied France and kidnapping and killing people. It's like, plus he played Dracula
And
or
he was
Van
a Nazi
Helsing like
hunter
100
also.
times.
He went to Argentina as well.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know,
him and Peter Cushing
Yeah.
were both Hammer horror guys. You
And
know,
plus he was
like,
personal friends with J.R. Tolkien and knew
Yep.
each other, and he was Italian royalty, and he was, I mean, what
Wow.
an amazing life that guy had.
I wonder if he's related to Robert E. Lee
No,
somehow. Christopher
no,
Lee, Robert E. Lee. I mean,
no, he wasn't. He was because his mother's last name was Cardinali or something like that.
I know he's like 6.5 feet tall.
Oh yeah, he was probably
He was
he was
big.
very
He's a
tall.
big guy.
He would be 103 if he was still alive.
Yeah.
Would have loved to look at Lee's bookshelves. Well, before he passed, he put to end the idea that he was into witchcraft and all that shit. He actually gave a speech at an Irish Catholic university, and he's like, don't mess with that cult shit. Leave it alone. I know I've got a reputation. It's not true. I've never read any of that shit.
He also
So,
put
I
out
mean,
a
he
heavy
did
metal
clear
album.
that up.
So he also put out a heavy metal album.
He did put out a heavy metal album. That's a fact. I mean,
Oh,
Just
wow.
he was the most interesting man on earth, right?
for a long time, he absolutely was. And like I said, how many times did he play Dracula? Like 20?
Yeah, I don't know how many times.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
the British Hammer horror thing. He was Dracula like 20 times. He was
Wow.
Van Helsing like 20 times too.
have,
Because
have
him
you
and Peter Cushing kept trading the role.
have you ever looked up? There's a lot of classic actors from back in the day that you would just be surprised some of their background. The guy who played Boss Hogg. You ever see his story?
Mm-mm.
I
Look him up.
remember it. Yeah.
Look him up.
Well, I know
James.
JFK swam like 10 miles carrying another sailor with a broken back after a Japanese destroyer cut his PT boat in half.
Well, yeah.
JFK Jr.
Yeah.
Who become president, obviously. But I mean, if you look his story up, I mean, the guy was a badass.
Yeah. Of course, the character of Boss Hogg was based upon something that happened right down the street from me.
Yeah, because a lot of people wonder if that's Hazard, Kentucky, and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that's Hazard, Georgia.
Well, so but the character is kind of based loosely around one of the guys who the whole Battle of Athens. If you ever heard of the Battle of Athens,
I did,
okay.
Yeah.
It was the only successful rebellion in the United States. It happened post World War II.
Well, crooked cops pissed a bunch of veterans off. I mean,
That's basically what they did, and I think there was a guy who was angling for the governor, or who was governor at the time, who was kind of an interesting, but yeah, Sorrel Brooks, he started off.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah. It just mentions his army service, but it doesn't.
It's classified.
It doesn't go. Yeah, it just says after his army service.
Was it like OSS or
yes.
He was counterintelligence for 2 years in Korea.
Officially.
Yeah.
Oh, and Earthbound just found out today that Thirsty Sword Lesbians is an actual real game.
Yes.
Yes,
it is.
Sorry, Earthbound, you can't unknow that.
Now, getting back to what James was saying, that won't be OSR because that game will not be remembered 30 years from now.
What, Thirsty Sword Lesbians?
It uses the Apocalypse system anyway, doesn't it? Is it powered by Apocalypse or something? Because I know a lot of those games are like that.
Yeah, because it's Evil Hat.
Yeah, and they do that. I bought the book, didn't like it, gave it away.
I think Evil Hat is doing like a history of AD&D.
Well, and let me clarify one thing real quick. Bloodworth. I did not buy Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I bought Dungeon World or whatever,
Yeah.
which uses Apocalypse System. Read the rules, said I didn't like it, gave it away.
Yeah.
So I have never bought Thirsty Sword
And
Lesbians.
plus, the guy that wrote Dungeon Worlds is a deplorable human being.
Yeah, I used to, hate on him on X a lot, but then he got canceled by all of his own friends.
I know, but still, he was still a cancel culture person himself, so he got what he
Yeah.
deserved.
Yeah,
live by the cancel culture, die
Yeah.
by it. Yeah.
yeah. I think it had something to do with unconsensual sexual.
Oh yeah,
acts
yeah.
in
I
a
watched
game or something.
I watched that video thing. When it happened, and I'm like, where was your use of the X cards? You were saying that people should be banned from conventions for not using X cards, and yet you didn't use X cards at your own table. And then
Yeah.
what the hell was wrong with all those other people sitting at that table? Sitting there like, oh, I'm shocked. Get up and fucking walk out. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was more important for them to get paid for being on a live play than it was for their own personal safety. It's like, no, you should have gotten up and walked away. I said, so it couldn't have been that bad if you're still sitting through it, so it's like you can't have it both ways. You can't be so pro safety tools that you will say that people should be banned from conventions if they don't use them, and then you don't use them at your own table, and then you're a group of adults sitting at a table and you find something that is so egregious that why aren't you just saying, hey, stop, here's my X card. No, they were live streaming, and that became more important to them than anything else. So
it's just weird is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
So when he got
Weird
canceled,
behavior.
it was like good riddance, because he was one that was saying people should get canceled without even having that kind of an offensive thing happened at their table. Just the
Right.
fact that they're saying, I don't use X cards.
Right.
They should be canceled.
Well, yeah, Knoble or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
Coble.
Yeah, well,
Adam Coble? I think it's
he
Adam.
is a parrot-headed douche canoe, Ducato. That's, yep. He is. He would post pictures of himself and be like, looking cute today, think I'll do something. And I'd always be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, what is wrong with you? Your dad cannot be proud of you right now.
No, none of their dads are ever around. They fucking ran.
Yeah, they all decided afterwards too. Killraven's 100% right. Is like at the time, everybody was like, okay. And then after the fact, they're like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And then they just ate. But, same thing happened to Zach. Zach's girlfriend dumped him, said he was mean to her. And the next thing you know,
He got canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Smith.
Well, that was at the height of the Me Too
is
movement.
getting
Yeah.
called up by his petard,
Yep.
Uh-oh, we lost somebody.
He's trying to come back. Let's see.
Yeah, that Tennessee internet.
Yeah.
Adam Coble, yeah. But Zach Smith got accused of something by a person that is known to have a personality disorder, whatever they call it.
And drug addiction
they
and
still
all other kinds of
roasted
stuff.
the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He had to sue people.
Sorry,
He won his lawsuits too.
That's what led to Mike Merle's being removed.
Well, because he said,
I'm not going to throw Zach Smith under the bus until we have an actual police report or evidence that it happened.
Let the investigation happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
so they threw Merles in a closet.
They threw him to Magic.
Yeah.
They stuck him back in the Magic.
They chucked him into a closet until they could get rid of him.
Yeah.
They pretty much got rid of everybody that ever had a scrap of talent at this point anyway. I mean, who do they? And I've never liked that bald son of a gun that worked for him. What's his name? And Christopher
Perkins.
Yeah, Perkins? I don't like that guy. And I've never cared for the Crawford guy either.
Jeremy
Crawford was I think Crawford was the architect of the disclaimer.
The whole thing.
Oh yeah,
but Merles actually could design a good game if you let him.
Yeah,
Perkins got cocky. Perkins liked to run his mouth a lot on Twitter.
That was his problem. You're right.
he was, oh my.
You
Oh,
know
you're
who
breaking
else?
up again.
You know who else they host over though? In hindsight, is Satine Phoenix.
Yeah, well,
They
she
brought
deserved
her
to
on
be.
board,
She
and then
deserved
like
to
a
be.
couple months later, she was persona non grata,
Yeah.
like living in the mountains.
Well,
Somewhere.
when you don't pay your when you don't pay your people doing work for you, and your Kickstarter flops, and you don't complete your Kickstarter either. That's what happens to you.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that was her boyfriend is
Well, it may have been, but the
a
point
real
is
class
that
act. Let's just say.
you know
Oh,
um,
there he
it
goes
was a
again.
failed Kickstarter. It was a Kickstarter that never went out.
Yeah, there is a good Crawford out there, Killraven. It's Kevin Crawford. He
Yeah.
does Stars Without Number, Worlds Without Number, Ashes Without Number. That dude is awesome. All of his games are great. But the Crawford that worked for Wizards of the Coast, he doesn't have the talent that, anybody. I mean, I would pick any number of random YouTubers I know that have more, that I'd claim have more talent than he does.
He was cocky.
But I'm a big fan of all the Without Number games. I got them all. So,
Well,
I have one of them.
I was gonna say Pundit worked with Merles, and he's like,
Mhm.
he actually called people. He's like, no, Merles was the one holding back the
Hey,
plate.
thanks again, my ear trumpet. And
Nice.
who got that one? That went to
Ed Draws Maps,
Ed Draws Maps.
1978, the Retro DM.
Congratulations, the Retro DM. Well,
Nice.
Congratulations, and thank you again, my ear trumpet. And yeah, Perkins absolutely got full of himself on Twitter.
He did.
Well, I mean, Death Shadow is 100% right, though, what he was starting in with, too, though, if you want to finish Death Shadow about...
Yeah, sorry, my audio... Something Restream was acting weird with me. It kept on not losing my mixer. I'm like, what? Any rate, yeah, he basically, 2016 broke him, is what happened.
Yeah.
And he just, I mean, and he was spewing out vitriol like you would not believe. I mean, and I thought, because I appreciated his Acquisitions Incorporated stuff. I kind of, that's the only live play that I ever actually watched because I thought it was funny. And
well, what happened is Merles, though, was working with Zach Sabbath and, because
he worked with Pundit.
Urbanski, and he was doing everything he could to kind of make 5e, a D&D game.
Right.
And when it got out, like, the usual suspects decided he had to go. So it's sad.
They were hunting for excuses at that point to get rid of anybody from the old guard or that appreciated the old guard.
Even Monty Cook kind of got snubbed.
Yeah, and he's a little.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. He lost his marbles with
yeah, he got with the wrong woman.
Gaming.
He got with the wrong woman, and that'll do you, man. I know.
Yeah.
I've done it a couple times.
Yeah, he lost his sense with
Jermaine or whatever her name is.
Yeah, well,
the blonde lady that Double D likes to show in his opening scene.
The sound of a mermaid is like a woman getting cut in half. It's like, what?
What?
What are you even saying, lady?
What, he was hooked up with Jessica Price?
He was hooked up with Saint Germain or whatever her name is.
Yeah,
I
think he was still married at that time too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he married that blonde chick, and she was co-owner of his company. But she also wrote smut because, modern women are crazy and they like books about minotaurs and whatnot. And he just kind of, she ruined him, man. It happens.
Have a good one, Off Grid.
Yeah, have fun with your AD&D game, man. Roll or die for me, bro. Yeah, the voice of a siren and the voice of a woman leaning into a refrigerator. She says all this crazy shit, and he's sitting there with this look on his face like,
oh my God.
Inside he's screaming, somebody please help me.
Yeah.
But I mean, he can't do anything because he's a nerd, and he got somebody who is a relatively attractive blonde.
Right.
Yeah, Shanna Germain. Now she's not so attractive, but 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's like he just is like, oh my god, she has killed his will to live. The other one that Double D likes to show off is Marissa Ray, which I did an apology about that because I made some bold
Marisha.
statements about her. And
Yeah.
I was like, I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. And whatever. But
Well,
there's a
we're
video
entitled to change our minds too. We're
well,
human.
she's got a video of her rubbing her bikini butt on the Batmobile. So way to go, feminism, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. So
I just.
I did a video about Matt Mercer too. Like when you watched that last thing, you can tell he is pissed. Because anytime my wife crosses her arms and looks at me like that, it means I have effed up really bad somehow.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 hours of episode 1 just until they started after the break and everything. That's as far as I got through it. I
It
just
was
haven't
cringe
gotten
fest.
around to it was
It was
tedious
boring.
to listen. It was boring. Exactly.
Oh
The
my.
first 2 hours was boring. I was like, did they make 2 perception checks in the first 2 hours? That was the only
it was
one
all
they
like a
did.
flashback, so basically nothing mattered because it's a
Yeah,
flashback.
it was like it was
I think I cringed so hard I gave myself a freaking hernia. You know what I mean?
Laughing.
It was just that bad. And the whole time Matt looks like he just wants to eat his own hat.
Yeah, I didn't get to
And
the point when he came on. So
oh dude,
I
he
have to
looked
get to it
pissed.
when he comes on.
And the guy in the upper right was playing on his phone for like 30 minutes during a live stream where you're being paid to
Yeah.
pretend to play D&D. I mean, you effed up but that guy, that Mulligan guy or whatever, he just wouldn't shut up.
Brandon Lee, Mulligan.
Yeah, Mullen or
Yeah, he just wouldn't
whatever
shut
it
up.
is.
Tolis was good. Yeah, you are right. Killraven. There was a time when Monty Cook did great stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the third edition era was a time you can look at Monty Cook and say he was doing some pretty fly shit back then.
Yeah, he got broken by, probably 2016 broke him too. It's like 2016 broke a lot of people.
It did.
2016 broke Pramus, and that is so sad because he wrote second edition Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, which is like the best edition. Green Ronin, and then 2016, that guy just lost his shit.
Oh yeah.
And Green Ronin they jumped off the deep end too.
Yeah, and it's so sad because way back in the day, they did Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. They did Pendragon. I mean, they had a whole barn full of good games. And then Trump got elected president, and they just like, committed hair carry or something, man. They're just like,
even worse, they were like, "Don't buy my stuff."
Yeah, don't buy my stuff.
Hey, I won't.
Yeah,
you don't have to tell me twice.
Like Senator Kennedy says, right? I always forget his first name, but he was like, "You can hate me for free." You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't give money to people that hate you. So you can hate me for free.
Oh, Senator Kennedy. He reminds me of like the Rhode Island Rooster on like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
The way he talks, he's like, listen here, boy. Listen here. Yeah. Like, you can be stupid for free. Shit
right.
Like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And to be honest, the way that Stephen Chenault is exactly the reason why I have all the books.
Well, the Troll Lords, like, when somebody tried to be away, they reined that shit in quick.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I know who it is, and I'm not going to call that person out, but I know who it is. I get it, their age and all that.
Yeah.
They're but
yeah,
everybody's entitled to their
used to be great.
But yeah, on a corporate level, don't do that. Don't push that stuff, and because you're instantly gonna automatically ostracize at least a third, if not more, of your audience.
Well, see, it's funny because
especially Troll Lord's audience. Yeah.
Right. And they
Yeah.
always say you're
That's
pissing off
the
half
word,
of
right.
America. And it's like, actually, it's more than half because
Mm.
the guy you hate won by a sizable amount of votes. So
Right.
it's not like it's just a little bit. But yeah, Warhammer 2nd edition is the freaking bomb. And I ran 4th edition for like a year and a half, and it just made me miss 2nd edition. And 4th ain't bad, but the art in 4th edition is so lame. Like there's barely any white dudes, and like the smuggler's like a 350-pound woman, and it's like, what's she smuggling? I mean, what's she going to outrun? Nothing.
What do you think
If a
about?
beast man gets on her, she is done. She'll die of a heart attack before she's escaping a goblin.
What do you,
So I
yeah.
hope she's a good fighter.
What do you guys think about this artist that makes 3D models? Have you seen that story? That apparently is being told by Warhammer that
Oh, the Italian guy.
Yeah, he's an Italian 3D modeler, and
He needs to rename all of his STLs. That's why he's in trouble.
yeah, I kind of have kind of mixed feelings about it because it's like, I'm not a Warhammer guy, but I've seen some of the comparisons side by side, and yeah, some of his stuff does look like it's a little infringy, possibly.
Yeah, but what got him was the names. You can make an STL that looks very similar to a Space Marine as long as you don't call it something that's really, really close
Yeah.
to something like if you make an STL of a Space Viking, do not call it a Space Wolf, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Call it a Space Viking. You'll be fine all day long, power armor and all. But as soon as you say Space Wolf, you are freaking nailed.
Yeah.
Because that's how they even look to find it. They go by name. And it doesn't matter anyway, because I don't know if you heard this, Death Angel, but like 3 weeks ago, someone who works at Games Workshop released all the 3D renders of every miniature they've made.
Oh, really? So they're out
Yeah,
in the
because
wild.
they make all of their miniatures on a computer system, the same you would use if you made your own STLs for 3D printing.
Yeah. So if you
And
yeah,
so they released all the 3D renders. So if you were lucky enough to download that file, which some people did, you could literally convert it over to Chitabox or Lice or whatever,
right,
and freaking 3D print figures that are absolutely 100%
identical
to the, and then throw a coat of paint on it, and it's like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's my blood angels.
Oh, I'm sure there's some sites that have all those models on them.
Yeah, I didn't get them, and I don't even play 40K anymore, so I don't care. But I know some people in my little that visit me when I live stream that did get them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, okay, whatever. I mean,
power to you. Yeah,
Yeah, do your thing, I guess.
Now you're a minis guy though too.
Oh, I love minis. Yeah, I love minis.
I mean, you play tabletop with them too, right? Regular like D&D.
Well, I play the 30K epic game.
Okay.
So Titanicus Imperium or whatever. So it's 8mm 30K. So I mean, when you build an army, you've actually got like Titans and 200 Space Marines and all this crazy shit. But yeah, I got away. I've actually been selling all of my 40K stuff.
Oh, that's right. I think either I was watching your stream or I was on with you.
And I had to go out.
Yeah, you had to get. Yeah, like, hang on. I think you were on with Shadow and Sun.
Right.
You're like, and Bear, and you're like, hold on. You guys take over. I gotta go.
Because the guy who was paying me all the money for my old 40K terrain showed up, and he's like, I'm out front. So I walked out with the stuff in the box. He kept counting me out some cash, and it was like, I gave it to my wife.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. And then came back. He's a great guy too. Great guy. I mean, that's one thing. I've met some really good guys that have just wanted to buy that old junk, and I'm like, cool.
There you go.
And then I'm sending. I don't know if you guys, Vic, the guy who does DaveCon, I'm sending him a bunch of like ancient selling ships, because him and the Colonel that used to run Bronstein back in the day, they play like naval games
Right.
to still
That's
to this day.
Wesley,
Wesley.
Dave
So
Wesley.
yeah, because he hangs out with like that dude and the dude that
Yeah.
did the Blackmore video. They all kind of cluster together. That bunch up in the Twin
You
Cities.
talking about Griff? Griff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
So
Griff.
yeah, so the guy was on my channel today, Victor. The
Yeah.
Northern Degenerate or whatever the hell, reprobate.
Yeah.
And he always calls me the Southern reprobate, and it's like, but he hangs out with like the dudes that Griff mentions in that video, which I own.
Do you? I need to get
He
that.
still hangs out with all the ones that are alive. I mean, they're still up there in St. Paul and Minneapolis doing their shit,
Yeah, Griff lives in Colorado, I think. But
yeah, so they're all in touch with each other and doing all their things. So I mean, good, whatever. Knock yourself out. I mean, he's a good guy. He's came to Florida twice, and I've missed him twice.
yeah. I'm
I'm
hoping
horrible.
I'm hoping to be able to jump in on that Kickstarter. We'll see. The one where the bunch of them all kind of got together. It's got the Tannisborg as well as some of the other stuff. If you're familiar with what I'm talking about.
And I see Roger is saying that it wasn't leaked. It was just, well, I stand corrected, sir, because all I know is what I saw. And on, like you said, some Games Workshop, commenters, and they could be full of shit. So, I mean, I didn't see any evidence and I didn't download anything anyway. So, it's not like it's going to affect me either way. But Roger, if I am wrong, I appreciate the correction, sir.
Roger's good
I don't
people.
like being wrong, even though I am often. But anyway, what were we? So we all love Castles and Crusades.
You know what? I was just going to say, I just got the beta 2 of the Adventurer's Backpack.
Oh, yeah. I've been going through it. I found a couple of. I've been because if you've got it, then you have access on the Trollord Discord.
Right.
There's a channel that's for any errors, and I've already. I think I posted about. I think I've got 7 things that I found so far, 7 or 8.
Right.
Including one that I found, which is kind of funny. I found it, and the way I found it was because I knew what the word meant, but I wanted to confirm what it meant, so I looked it up in the dictionary, and it wasn't in the dictionary, and it suggested a different spelling, and I'm like, okay.
Well, you gotta remember, those boys is from Arkansas.
I know.
So,
I love them. I love them to death. But
they could be making up their own words. I mean, they're practically as hillbilly as I am. So
yeah. It's
but
when I looked up
old boys.
When I looked up the word, then I turned around and I looked it up in the player handbook and in the and there's 7 instances of the same word misspelled in the player handbook and 1 instance in the Castle Keeper guide.
Well, that's your public school system at work in Arkansas, apparently. However,
but I love these guys to death, so I pointed it out.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean to them. I'm joking.
No,
I have the box set of Legendary Adventures they put out like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? It was a cream-colored box set, and it was Legendary Adventures by Gary E. Gygax, or E. Gary Gygax. And it was the percentile game that Gygax had made.
I had
picked a character and got skills, and you had percentiles, and you could basically make any character because you could like put points in the sword and points into elementalism and points into this and points into that.
Yep, it was Legendary Adventures with a J.
With a J, yeah. And then that, of course, one thing I'll say, Luke, I used to not be a fan of Luke, but since he managed to get his stepmom to loosen up on, all that Gary Gygax stuff that the Troll Lords used to be able to put out, I've started having, I still think he should have had his brother Ernie's back a little better, but,
Yeah.
I think that they all could have actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his father's too, because his father was under quite a bit of attack, and they could have done the kibosh on that
Right.
when what's his name, I don't think it's Jason Tondro. It's something Tondro, and the regular usual suspects
The
coming out and
usual
saying,
suspect.
"Oh, this this would have never passed our sensitivity reads." He should have slammed them on that and said, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to have any association with anyone who's going to attack my father, my brother, my family, whatever." Um,
Right.
but again, they put the dollar ahead of their own family reputation. It's like I don't get
Well,
it. I just
he's
don't
out of
get
the hospital. He's doing good, and now you can get a copy of Gygax's Igsberg book or
it.
whatever it's called if you want. So at
Yeah,
least he did some good. I mean, I had the book, but for the longest time, I'd show it to people, and they'd be like, "What the hell is that?" Be like,
yeah,
"Well, about 20 years ago from the Troll Lords, right? It's Gary Gygax's like last thing he worked on," and people were like, "Oh, you can't even get it now. You can." So
Now you
Luke did
can.
good work there.
Yeah, and I have
It's kind
I,
of high fantasy, by the way. If you've never read it, like the city of Igsburg has like magical street lamps and
well,
like
they're actually doing. I mean, so I've got the Castle Zagig,
hmm
right.
as well as the Hermit that Troll Lord put out,
Mm.
and they've got uh, the Yigsburg is coming, and I've already jumped in on that Kickstarter, paid for it. Well, it was a backer kit, I think
It's a
that was
great book with a great map in it, and it's basically Greyhawk just changed.
right,
They
right.
call it the
Well,
city of the Dun Falcon or something
they've
now.
they've 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 thanks to Luke, they've gotten a bunch of um, the notes that Gary had as
yeah,
Right.
well, and so they are actually finishing it. And they actually had James. I think a lot of those notes came from James Ward too,
cool.
because he was working with them on
Yeah,
that as
Ward
well.
was working with them big time. I think well, I know because I bought it, but then I gave it away to somebody. They put out Metamorphosis Alpha, the Warden book, and it was
hmm
like as big as a phone book.
Oh yeah,
And I
it was
read through it and I was like,
it
this
was
is kind of
expensive
cool, but
too. I wish I at the time when it was first put out there, I was like I wish I could get this.
yeah, I
Yeah.
sent it to one of the guys online. Like I did a contest and I was like, whoever names this miniature the best or something, and I gave it away because I
Wow.
mean, because if I'm going to play that kind of game, I'm playing Gamma World Second Edition.
hmm
I have the box set. That's my favorite version. So whatever, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little expensive. It was, but I hope somebody out there is having a good time with it because it literally described every room on a starship that's like 8 miles long and has 300 decks or some shit. I mean, it is huge. But
Yeah.
yeah, they got that from Gygax Legendary Adventures. Hopefully, they'll bring back. Some people like that a lot.
Well, I have the reprint. It
Yeah.
was included as part of one of those Kickstarters.
hmm
Included some of the Legendary Adventures, but I actually had, and I want to say I got it probably. I must have bought it at what's the name? Coliseum is probably where I bought it.
Hmm.
Which Coliseum is it's a chain now.
Well,
It
Phil owns.
wasn't when I back in the day, but
Yeah, Phil owns like 9 stores, but the problem is the one that's closest to me is
yeah,
80% Funko Pops,
the one out in
and then like the
Kissimmee.
rest of the stores like some 40K shit.
You're talking about the one that's out that they moved to the new
Yeah, the
location.
one that's out towards Old Town.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you walk in the store, it's literally like almost all Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah.
Which I mean, I asked Phil about because him and I talk. We're friends on Facebook and everything like that. And I'm like, "What's with all these Funko Pops, homie?" And he's like, "It sells." And I'm like, "Well, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, that's yeah. I
You're
can't.
trying to keep the store open, so I mean, heaven far be it from me to try to not let you keep your store open. You've been running it for like 40 years, so
You know what we do still have in Knoxville?
what's that?"
Sci-Fi City.
Oh yes, it closed. Well, kind of closed down here. Not really, but kind of. It's no longer in the giant building. It's in like this little, like it used to be like an automotive auto parts little store,
In
and
the
now
in the
that's like,
in that strip mall on Colonial, what
yeah,
by
off
the
of
Home
50.
Depot,
Yeah,
and
off
then
of 50.
they
Yeah.
moved to that small building. Well, I don't know if they're still around, but they're not affiliated with the Sci-Fi City brand anymore.
A long,
And
long time ago, it wasn't even Sci-Fi City. It was Enterprise 1701.
well, that was when it was up on Careen Drive and all that. Yeah.
Right,
No,
near the Navy.
I remember that was when the Navy base was open.
Yeah, that
that
we're talking way back.
that was the place you went if you wanted to really nerd out. And then they
Yeah,
started
and
getting
Richard,
into
we're just nerding out
Yep.
over
Yeah,
some
I'm
old
listening to you.
stores
Yeah.
in Orlando
Yeah.
that they're now like Costume Comics now. You go there to buy Funko Pops or to play 40K on Saturday. That's basically it.
yeah,
They
we're
don't even
magic.
have a whole like shelf of role playing games. They have
Really?
like a
Like an
tiny
end
little
cap type of thing?
yeah,
Oh,
they have like an end cap with whatever the newest role playing games are. And it's otherwise it is Funko Pop and 40K miniatures, and that is it. And
that
magic cards. And magic if you want to drop a cool $2,000 on a dual land, you can do it there.
yeah, no thanks.
Because they've got those second and third edition Magic the Gathering dual lands for like $2,000. So I mean, if you want to do that, they got a whole wall of that shit.
I'll
But
bet.
I mean,
And
but
it
otherwise, I mean,
How's it going,
like,
Roger? I just wanted to give a shout out to Roger real quick. I just noticed he was just in.
oh yeah, Roger's the one that corrected me on the thing, I
Yeah.
think, and I was
Yeah.
like, thank you.
Yep.
he
Um,
mentioned Tuesday, by the way.
Yeah.
Luke probably
Who,
should have.
Roger?
Yeah, we all agree, Jeff or Roger and Ducato. I think we're all in agreement. Luke could have been a little bit more of had a
Yeah.
spine,
Yeah.
especially considering he was an officer in the army. You would think he'd,
Yeah.
but maybe
Yeah,
I'm just.
I think he was putting like he still wanted to maintain his connection to Wizards of the Coast,
Yeah.
and wasn't going to jump to his
Right.
his father's
I wouldn't
defense.
want that guy to get me in a headlock, though. Have you seen that
Yeah.
dude? You can tell he works out a lot. That dude is big.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Looks
yeah.
just like
Luke?
his dad
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks so much like Gary Gygax. It's crazy, man.
Hey, how's it going, D&D Dad?
Dad and son.
Yeah, and
It's
son.
not Shadow and son. It's Dad and son.
No, it's Dad and son. No, different guy. I just actually followed his channel. He has some pretty cool stuff on his channel. So
Yeah, I think I
nice.
followed
I'll
him
have
too.
to. I'll have to
definitely
check
check
that
him
out.
out.
Yeah, the photos when he died, the photos from that Ernie, of Ernie and stuff like that,
Mhm.
was actually an interview from the channel I'm affiliated with. That
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
they never credited the channel,
Hmm.
by the way, but it was Sci-Fi for Me TV. Jason, who I'm one of his mods, and
Tandemar.
yeah,
That's a cool
but,
name. I like that name. That sounds like it should be like a desert kingdom somewhere with like,
But Jason actually had an interview with Ernie, and that was the people took 15 seconds from a whole long conversation and twisted it. And of course,
I can
cancel culture was
say,
still going on at the time, so that's what happened.
right. I can say that one thing that's braggable that I can brag about is that I have the Gord the Adventurer novels, and they're all signed by Gygax.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
back when Gen Con was cool,
Mhm.
you could go there and he would actually be there sometimes.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine was an editor at Wizards of the Coast, like way back in the first and second edition era. And he got the books and he got them signed for me and stuff. And then I met him for like 5 minutes once, but like I was too embarrassed to really say anything but hello.
Yeah.
And he's like, "How you doing?" And then I was like,
blah 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 blah.
I was like, it was kind of like that Chappelle thing where he talks about Rick James comes in and he saw an aura
Yeah.
around him. That was kind of how it was for me. I was like, It's the guy. I got him to sign a Fiend Folio at Gen Con, and he didn't
Nice.
even work on that book. But it was the only one I had. But he was always like, well, I can't say he was always. The one time I met him, he was a good guy. You know what I mean? It was like, but I was so shy back then, that
Oh yeah.
like I couldn't talk to anybody anyway.
Yeah.
But
It's
back
gonna
then,
be
Gen
it's
Con
gonna be
wasn't even
great
that
when they put
big.
those Gore novels in the Gord novels in audio.
Yeah, Gore is a totally different
Yeah,
thing
no,
that
I
I
know.
am not
I
affiliated
Gord.
with.
The Gord novels in audio. Yeah, the Gore novels. I was a big fan of those when I was like 13, 14 years old. They were, that was
There is a Gore live action group,
yeah,
and they get together and wear furs and make the women wear iron collars and drag them
yeah,
around with chains and shit. It's some weird shit.
yeah.
And I was in the SCA, which is already kind of fringe and weird. But we're looking across the park at those guys, and we're like, what in the? I mean, I'm just over here dressed up like a medieval knight. Those guys are crazy. I don't know what
Yeah,
they're doing.
yeah.
But yeah, the guy who wrote the Gore novels was a professor, and he's got some interesting takes on
Yeah, what's his name? John Norman.
relationships and
Yeah,
everything like that. Yeah, he's got some weird takes on that. But
yeah, yeah. So
your middle name is Tron. Now, okay, Tandemar, Tron sounds like you should be like maybe a black dude who does music like Rockwell. Somebody's watching me, like your name could be Tron Brown or something. I mean, that's when I hear Tron, that's the image. Or like the dude in the vest that's trying to do the robot and all the Dave Chappelle, Charlie Murphy stories. I imagine his name was probably Tron. Anyway, if you didn't never watch Chappelle, you won't have any idea what I'm saying. But like in all the true Hollywood stories of Charlie Murphy, there's always like this black dude in the background wearing nothing but a silver vest and some bike shorts doing the robot. Like every time they show a club scene, this dude is just there. And it's like his name is Tron. Oh, white cowboy? Well, Um, and I'm a hillbilly. Even though we did own a cow, but it was just an old milk cow.
Yeah,
And
I
I
just got a
remember if
couple of
the cow
dogs.
got into wild onions, my mom would make us take a little bite of an onion before we drank any of the milk. Because if you chewed the little onion before you drank the milk, then you couldn't taste the onion in the milk. And the milk tastes good.
Oh, because
Because,
the
we
cow would
drank
eat
whole
it.
milk growing up because we had a cow.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah.
But, and in Kentucky, in the mountains, wild onions sprout up all over the place. I mean, they
I
just,
I have them in my backyard. So
yeah. I mean, and you know what? They're great if you want. Go out. They're just like scallions. Pull them out of the ground, wash them off, dice them up, and throw them on top of your ramen or whatever. You're good to go.
oh yeah.
But yeah. The thing, okay, the Garrity thing. Getting back to the Garrity
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. Let's get
That
back to
cover is great.
yes.
Garrity is okay. I don't want to say he's insane because I like the guy. I call him the madman from the City of Brotherly Love.
You're right.
But the one he did today was really like, I was like, the whole should you fudge? And I'm like, no, never. And he's like, no, never. But apparently he has a real problem with like DM screens. And I'm like, I just lay mine down like a placemat
Yeah,
and I hide all my maps and shit under it. And if I need to look at a map, I just, take a
brings it
peek.
up. Yeah,
You
I
know.
just I started getting into the habit of trying to like when I'm playing at a table to stand. That way I can just roll the dice and not sitting down behind the screen. And the screen again is just to block off my notepad where I'm
Right.
keeping track of the creatures hit points and that kind of stuff. Little notes here and there about how the game is actually running. But for the most part, I do all my rolling in front. He was a big fan of fudging when Orion Akaba fudged,
And now
and
he's
it was
right.
trying to justify that, oh, this should be acceptable because it's about telling the story and not about the game mechanics.
Which I'm totally against.
Yeah, which was not. No, the guy was a scumbag and he was cheating
Well,
on.
not that. I'm just against the whole idea of story
Yeah.
gaming. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've created a world, you've created various encounters and playgrounds and whatever, and set the players loose, and the dumb ones will die.
yeah,
Because he's like, it's not fair when a character dies because of bad die rolls. And in the video I made, I'm like, look, stupidity is what will kill a character.
yeah.
Because a smart character that knows what they're doing, they can mitigate bad die rolls.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just happens, and if it happens, it
luck's
happens. It's
the thing.
not it's just the way it works, right? Nobody cries about the big bad getting killed by a critical hit that causes a you know bleeding over time damage that's going to kill it in 3 rounds, right, or 4 rounds. That's straight out of Castles and Crusades. One of its
The Castle
its
Keep
critical hits was like pierced lung dies in 4 rounds. It was like, okay, you on the first hit on ancient red dragon, you're going to it's going to die in the next 4 rounds. Or 1 to 4 rounds actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that just is what it is, right? So it goes both ways.
I just my advice to him is, if you think the DM is cheating behind the screen,
mm-hmm.
or you think the players are cheating, then somebody needs to get up and go away.
Yeah.
Like, don't let yourself be drugged down to that level. Have some freaking some character, some grit, some freaking whatever,
and
just
there are signs too.
do the right thing.
There are signs that a player is doing things. You and I both know of people that do that.
Well, when they roll the die 20 and then they scoop it up real
Yep.
quick.
Yep. Yep. The roll and grab. Oh, look, I got a natural 20.
And it's like, or they roll a die and then pick it up and look real close at the number, like they're trying to figure out what they rolled. And it's like, if I can see it over here, I know you can see it. So stop playing games, And what you do in that case is you talk to them. And if they straighten up, good. And if they don't, then you just don't deal with it. Or if you think somebody cheats on a roll, because I've done this. I have a bro that I play with, and he likes to roll before he says what he's doing.
Yeah.
And every time he does it, I make him re-roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, he'll roll the die 20, and then he'll be like, so anyway, I'm searching for a secret door, and I rolled this. And I'll be like, well, roll it again, because I didn't know what you're rolling for. And he'll be like, fine.
Well,
I know it pisses him off, but
I mean, that's another important topic is, what roles don't you let the characters roll, the players roll? There's certain roles that are secret roles. They're, they shouldn't know what they are. Like, I don't
like when they're stealthing.
Yeah. Yeah. If they think that they're stealthy,
and they're not.
It's like, and they're not. Yeah. So, if they're finding and removing traps, you don't tell them whether they shouldn't be rolling that. Well, maybe finding traps they shouldn't roll. Removing the trap, sure. You know what I'm saying? But finding the trap, they shouldn't know whether they found one or not.
They would not be off the hook. Right. You gotta have principles, right?
Yeah.
Well, they also
big principle is just basic honesty. I mean,
yeah,
they also roll your dice and you deal with it.
They also shouldn't be rolling unless you tell them to roll.
Yes,
and that
they should never roll until you tell them.
They shouldn't be going, well, I want to roll. I'm rolling for blah. I didn't ask you.
It's one particular person I game with, and all the time he does this, and then I always make him re-roll, and then and it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Like, how you got guys and they're just sitting there rolling the dice for no reason, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm going to look for this, and I rolled that, and I'll be like, well, re-roll, because I have no idea what you're doing over there.
Yeah.
I mean, and they wouldn't roll die 20 anyway. In my game, it's all dice 6s. for searching and stuff like that. I like all the thief skills. I use the OSC alternate thief rules where it's all on a die 6.
Okay.
So you start with a 1 in 6 chance at everything, and you get 4 points to spend. So if you want to start with like a find traps 5 out of 6, knock yourself out, but then you got 1 in 6 on everything else. So
Yeah.
because I'm not a huge fan of percentile dice in D&D, I have to admit, I'm not a fan. Which is weird because I absolutely love Star Frontiers. And that whole
What,
game
all
is just
percentile?
Yeah,
percentile.
my problem with Star Frontiers was always that if you do not have every one of those, if you don't have a character that can do each of those different areas,
The PSAs, yeah.
yeah, the PSAs, um, you're not going to have a possibility of doing an adventure that really does require all of those PSAs to be used. You're going
Yeah,
on
if you don't have a medic in the group, you're gonna have a
if you
problem.
don't have a medic, if you don't have a computer technician, if you don't have a this or that or a robotics or whatever,
Yeah, the robot computer
you're
guy,
screwed.
planetologist.
Yeah, you cannot play that game without somebody that has, and you'd have to tell the players, hey, listen, the group needs a technician. The group needs a computer focused character. You need a medic. You need a combat person. You need, and if you don't have them covered, you cannot run an adventure without them.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna have problems. And yeah, I like percentile over die 100 too, but I have ran a lot of Middle Earth role playing.
Yeah.
Like in my day, I've ran which is a die 100 because you roll the percentile and add your whatever. And if you get over 100, then it's all gravy. The higher over 100, the better, but 100 is the target number. And like Star Frontiers, it's like you've got a number and you roll under it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
I have a metal D100.
Yeah.
Oh my
I've had Frontier Space forever, and I still haven't gotten into looking at it, going through it, or whatnot.
Before I deleted it, I had a review of it, and the review is I love it. It's basically just they took Star Frontiers and made it even easier to figure out.
Yeah.
And you could totally ditch all of the aliens in Frontier Space and just use the aliens from Star Frontiers.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't even change a thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, Frontier Space, I've got I don't know. They may have much more books, but I have the player and the GM
Yeah, I think
book.
they only have 2 still. I don't
And
think
they're really good books. RPG Grandma loves that game. You could talk to her about it for like a year. She loves Frontier Space. But it's just Star Frontiers. The way it works, if you want to shoot somebody with a laser pistol, it's like half of your dex plus your pistol skill. And if you roll under that, you hit, basically, very basically. I mean, of course, you could have range and movement and other things affect it. But yes, for a while, I played Middle Earth role playing and Roll Master. I was one of those guys for like a couple years. And yeah, Chart Master, as they call it. But you know how I dealt with that way back in the day is I used the high school I went to's copying machine and I copied all the crit charts, like a lot of them. And then when we played Rollmaster, everyone got the crit charts they needed for the weapons they used. So if a dwarf had like a hand axe and a spear, I gave him the piercing and the slashing tables, right? And then that way they could just roll the dice and tell me what they got. And, so it wasn't that hard. But Star Frontiers, I'm a huge fan of and have been since I was 15. Gamma World 2nd Edition, that is the first box set TSR ever made that I bought for myself. Love it. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I should feel happy or sad that Wizards of the Coast doesn't make any of those games.
Give them time. They'll try.
Well, they made Gamma World way back in the day, and it was horrible. 7th edition, it was like,
yeah.
They wanted you to buy like collectible cards, and that's where the mutations were. So when you made a character, you had to random draw mutation cards, and it was like, no.
Well, they're kind of going that way again, trying to push the cards.
They
You
did
know?
it with fourth edition too. Like you would buy like the Rangers pack, and it was like a whole stack of cards that had all the abilities of a particular class on them.
Yeah. That's what Critical Role is doing with
Mikado.
Barrington
Yeah,
Press.
Against the Dark Master is basically just the modern Middle Earth role playing. And I own the big book. Now you can get it as separate little books, which is awesome. But it's a great game. The only thing I don't like about Against the Dark Master is the wealth rules. I'm not a fan of the abstract wealth thing. Just tell me how much gold pieces something costs and how much I got.
Yeah.
Let's not be nuts with this. Oh, I'm wealth level 5. I can automatically do this. No, shut up.
Yeah. Actually, Takado mentioned that, both he and I, we played that at ShireCon
Yeah, that's
for
what I
the
said.
first time. And it was crunchy. It wasn't as crunchy as Rollmaster normally is, but it was definitely crunchy. And it was like, you know what? I don't want to roll three dice, or three sets of dice to determine if I hit, then did I, what kind of a critical hit did I do, and then what kind of damage was dealt out. I mean, it wasn't the five different charts that you would use in Rollmaster, but it was still,
Yeah, it's basically you make your attack roll, and that tells you how much damage you do, plus a crit if necessary.
yeah,
And then you roll the crit, which does more damage plus maybe a specific thing.
yeah,
And some people don't care for it. Some people do. I'm all like, whatever. I mean, but you're right. 100%, Richard, you're 100% right. It's based on Middle Earth role playing, which
yeah,
was always like Rollmaster basic,
yeah,
because I mean, I've got the new Rollmaster Unified or whatever.
hmm
And I'm like, I look at it and I'm just like, what were they even thinking? It's like none of this makes sense to me. I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, I played old school Rollmaster, and I don't know what Iron Crown
yeah,
Enterprises are weirdos.
yeah. That's the one game system that I would never play again.
Yeah. Like Space Master was the worst. If you wanted
Yeah,
to design a starship and it required like literal long equations of mathematics, you had to figure
yeah,
out like
and
how
just
many
multiple
cubic
charts.
meters worth of this and that. And
That's
it's
why they
like, get
call
out
it
of
chart master instead of roll master, because it
here.
was
Yeah.
just chart after chart after chart, and then after you've gone through 5 or 6 charts, you determined that you hit but you did no damage. I was like, what? It was like, yeah, it was like
And
we
that
went
can
through
happen so much. Yeah. Because if you hit somebody, but you rolled like 110, so you hit somebody for like 5 damage, but their armor absorbs like 10. Well, you did nothing. Good job. It's like whatever.
Mhm.
MERP is actually a really good game, but I'll tell you what, if you really like Tolkien's world, get the One Ring. It's a better game
Mhm.
in every way. The One Ring is just a better game in every way.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have that and
and
I've never played it. Yeah, so
it's
I've
got a
so
weird
many games
system
I've never
because
played. Yeah.
the level of your skill is how many die sixes you roll,
Hmm.
and then you roll a die 12. And if you roll a 12 on the die 12, then no matter what the target number is, you automatically succeed
Hmm.
because that's the Gandalf rune. However, if you roll the Sauron rune, which is the 1, then you don't count the die 12 at all. And you have to rely on your die 6s. And the target numbers can be pretty high. So, like, rolling 3 die 6s may not do it for you. And then if your character is wounded, only 4, 5, and 6 count on die 6s. So if you're wounded, you could roll 5 die 6 for a skill and you don't count 1, 2, or 3, which is, I mean, half of the die is automatically just not there. And it doesn't have to be a physical wound. It can be like you're in the Shadowlands for too long and you get like too much shadow corruption or whatever. Like maybe a Nazgul got too close to you and now you're all effed up because, it's a Nazgul. And I mean, so yeah, it's wild, but I will say this: the Moria book is beautiful. Every book, like the Northern Lost Lands book, beautiful. Every book they've put out for One Ring is beautiful. And I did run it, and it was cool. And the group got ate by a bunch of trolls because they were goofballs. And that was the starting adventure because they go like, you go up the swamp near Bree, and there's 3 trolls hiding out in a ruined tower. And the players are dumb and they get ate. And it's like, okay, that's what happens. Sorry, make new characters. I do like the patron system in that game, where like that particular group was working for Bilbo because it was before Bilbo leaves to go to Rivendell, but after he came back from Erebor. So he actually was hiring groups of adventurers from around the Shire to do like stuff. And so they were supposed to check out a farmstead that went quiet. And it turns out there's a family of trolls living in a ruined tower by the farmstead. The farmstead's all burnt down and everyone's ate. Well, not everyone, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you've received 100 messages today. I've never even seen that. I guess I've never got 100 messages. That's weird because I've streamed for like 8 hours and never got 100 messages. Wow. You're doing great, man. Yes, but One Ring is really good. It really is. And I had the original one that had like, it come in a slide thing and the dice went down the back of the books. But now I have the second edition one, and yeah, they're one game I would really love to run, but my group is just never going to let me. Is Twilight 2000 4th edition? But yeah, my group will never allow that. I think they would like riot.
What about Axe 2?
I haven't got X 2, and I'm embarrassed to say that, especially since I talk to Macrease pretty often, and my whole Discord channel is called Adventure Conqueror King Lover or something like that. But I do. ACK is one of the better OSR games ever made.
Yeah.
And I super love the fact that he kept race and class as one thing, but every race has like 5 or 6 classes that are completely distinct from every other race.
Right.
So if you're a human fighter, you're a human fighter. If you're a dwarf, you're not a dwarf fighter. You're a dwarf vault guard. And they work different.
Right.
And then, of course, every elf class is part mage and part something. You got like the Nightblade. That's a mage assassin. The spell singer. And then you've got like the Hierophant, which is a cleric mage. And, unless you play an elf ranger, because only elves can be rangers. And they're the only elf class that gets 0 magic, which is kind of weird, but they can talk to birds. So,
yeah,
I mean, okay, there you go.
They're actually in the, and Richard can attest to this, one of the things that they're doing in the Reforged Adventures backpack is reintroducing some of those
yeah, there will be.
Class. So.
Well, that.
Yeah. I was just looking at some of those. So they have like, I can go over those actually really quick.
Oh yeah, on X they're going nuts with that D&D Village picture.
Oh yeah,
they're animating it, making memes out of it.
So let's see. I can show you guys this here. So here's what he's talking about, and let me back out a little bit of this. Let's see. So race as class. So there's the Ironborn Dwarf, the Elf Magi, the Gnome Primeval, and the Feral Halfling.
Yeah.
Huh.
So race classes. So let's take a look at the Dwarf. So D12.
So this is for Castles and Crusades.
Right.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, I can tell by the art.
And these are.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a dude with a hammer getting ready to hammer somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
That's
cleric,
a female
nice.
dwarf.
Yeah, just cleric, nice, liking it.
No, she doesn't have a
They've
beard
always
though.
had pretty good
No,
art.
she doesn't have a beard. So the female
Somebody's gonna
dwarf,
complain about that.
the female dwarf does not have a beard.
Well, maybe she shaves, or maybe they're not the same kind of
So
dwarves as Tolkien.
that's the first of them, the Ironborn dwarf. They have natural armor class. They
Sacred
stand
AC of
fast,
fast,
11.
nice.
Yeah.
weapon advantage.
So weapon advantage, it looked like it gives you an extra die 4 damage.
At
In
level 10, at level
okay.
10, Ironborn inflicts additional D4 points of damage. Yes, increases to D6 at 19th level.
Wow.
So it's not a huge advantage, actually.
It's cool though. I mean,
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's interesting.
They're not restricted to a particular weapon, but they do have an affinity
Yeah,
Right.
for axes.
shield fighting they get at 14th level. Yeah, a lot more high end leveling in this version. Then you have the elf magi, or the magi elf, and let's see. Oh, they have a D8.
I
hit
saw
points.
that.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty badass.
Yeah. Well, that's like going back to the fighter magic user kind of build.
Yeah, the BX elf was a die 6, but back then, like the fighter was only a die 8. So I mean,
Yeah. This is toned up. Yeah, you definitely see.
Oh, that guy looks cool too.
Yeah.
And they can wear metal armor.
Yeah, they can wear metal armor.
Well,
and wield a blade.
Well,
yep, and they
just
can
like BX elves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So high elf spells known. Oh, so they have different types of spells too. They have the elf spells
and high elf spells.
And then high elf spells. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I haven't gotten through everything yet. I've been going through a bunch of them, and at any particular time, and when I have a few minutes, I'll go through, and then I'll add whatever errata that I found to the thing. But eventually, I plan on going through the whole thing. Of course, I think we only have until I forget what it.
I didn't read the full email yet, so I don't know how long before we can make any changes. There is the primeval. Everything seems to be kind of thin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They all look scrawny.
Their gnomes have always looked different than anyone else's gnomes. They've always had like the big ears and the big
They have gnome spell. Oh, they're druids, right?
Yeah, so they're basically primeval. Druids.
Yeah. So
we have until Wednesday.
Until Wednesday. My God, we just got 22nd. This yesterday, right? Yesterday or today?
The 22nd. I got it a couple of days ago.
Oh, did you? All right. Maybe I just didn't notice it.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So these are the prime. Yeah, that's a nice. I like that look.
Dragging all the stones up, getting ready to hammer somebody with them.
And here's mine, the feral, the halfling. So,
halfling cannibals.
Did you show? They also, who Emmy is, right, James?
Probably not.
Elven Maiden.
Oh yes, I know. Yeah,
I don't know her.
You don't know Elven Maiden? Okay, yeah, Emmy's a regular on. She's on Delver's channel. She's on Nerd Cognito. Yeah. She's on a bunch. She's on all the old school stuff. She actually came up with a class and had put it out on X. And Davis, Steven's brother, Davis Chenault, liked it so much he asked her. He said, "Can we put that in our Adventures backpack?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'd be honored."
And where is that?
It is on page 22.
D&D Dad and Son. I bought the homage covers just because of how super cool they are. But I will tell you right now that Castles and Crusades as a game is good. It's a good game. You know, it's not just about the fact that the covers are super awesome, because they are, but the game itself is a good game. And it never
Oh, she
kind
did
of
the Blade
changes.
Dancer,
It's
you're
just
saying.
like they have new printings. So
So
I've
Yeah.
got like a first printing and a third printing and a seventh printing.
Yeah,
And,
I've got the 9th and I got the 10th and I've got the PDF for the 7th and
yeah,
what's the
it's like the
7th?
game
The
hasn't
7th is
changed in
free.
20 plus years. It just kind of,
It's
they
still the
fix
same edition.
misspellings and shit.
Yeah, the same edition. They just a different printing.
Yeah, it's just a
So
different printing with different art.
you
The
know what?
original art had like a knight on the cover with a dragon in the background, and it was cream colored, and it was just Castle and Crusades first printing.
When I
And then they changed it here and there. Now I haven't got Acts 2, but I do absolutely love Adventure Conquer King first edition.
would you want to run it or play it?
I've ran Adventure Conquer King for
The
hell,
first one? Did you?
couple of years. Yeah, we went through all the pre-written adventures.
Mhm.
Like something everyone knows, Sinister Stone of Sakara, that's B2 Keep on the Borderline.
So
Like almost bit for bit.
yeah.
It's like you show up at it's not a keep, it's a fort. It's a Roman hill fort with a legate in charge instead of a Castilian.
Is there a
But
moat?
then you go into the dungeon, which is like, got the evil Zaharan Death Knight lady.
Mhm.
And then you've got kobolds, orcs, goblins, bugbears, hobgoblins, whatever. And you go through each section. Yeah, it's Keep on the Borderland. Like every one of those adventures is inspired by TSR AD&D adventure or basic adventure.
So I
D&D Dad and Son, he mentioned the covers. I just want to show you the cover of this D&D Dad. If I hadn't already.
My favorite's the Monster Manual homage cover. That one was really good. Oh, that's cool.
Look at the details on this. Like, so I'm looking at it, right? And I was like, wait a second, where is this spear coming from? And then I realized he cut the spear with his sword swing. So that goes to this guy.
Yeah, because the handle's in that troglodyte.
Yeah, it's broken in his, or lizard man, whatever he is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
So, and then I'm looking up here and I was like, this one here, he got slashed, and I'm thinking from this blade that's in the air here. How
you can tell it's old school though, Richard? The adventures look like they might die.
Yeah, and you actually see blood, and you see, there's just a lot of, you can see that you can read the action,
right,
in the thing, and it doesn't look like it's, the
poor thief lady looks like she might be getting ready to take a drop.
Oh yeah, she's like hanging, and he's holding on. You can actually see he's holding on to the.
And then the barbarian's up there, just like doing his thing.
Yeah,
or Scald. He could be a Scald for all I know.
Yeah,
they
it's
do
an awesome
Scalds in that game, which is awesome. Oh, they also have the Slavarum book or whatever.
Yes.
Which is really cool if you're into like Russian mythology and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's got the whole Slavic angle. Yeah, their early art was passable art, but the last 10 years they have really upped their game.
Yeah,
started coming out with their version of the Monster Manual is cooler than the original Monster Manual. It's just so good. You got the troll in the tunnel and the dragon flying and all that. It's just so good. It's also just a great game.
So
I got the canvas print. I got the canvas print of the player handbook.
Oh, nice!
Because I liked that, and then I also got the canvas print of the what is it called? The Hermit.
That's kind of like a secret to telling whether a game is old school or not. Is if you look at the art and it looks like the players are getting ready to be horribly mutilated by something, then it's old school. Yeah. If you look at the art and there's a dwarf with a hammer jumping 50 feet in the air, getting ready to hit a fire giant in the face, that's some 5e bullshit. Or this new
or if
stuff is
they've got maracas that are pink and blue and
and a beholder and a blue minotaur looking tieflings getting ready to do horrible stuff to some poor black guy.
yeah.
I mean, and some lesbian grandmas, you got to throw them in there. I mean, that I don't know what the hell they're doing, but if you look at like AD&D, you've got like the thief and the fighter, and there's like a gigantic spider behind them on a ledge, and they don't see it, and it's getting ready to jump them. Like, people are getting mutilated and tore apart by shit. It's like, and then all the new stuff, everyone's smiling, they're all hanging out at like a picnic.
D&D Dad, I'm gonna answer his question real quick, guys.
Sure.
Yes.
So he's asking, what is the adventurer's backpack? So the key component of the adventurer's backpack is these preset backpacks that your characters can purchase. So here you have the dungeon basic backpack for 50 gold pieces. It weighs 32 pounds. It has that's an encumbrance value of 16.5, and then it goes and shows you what is packed into it, what is the internal and external contents, going all the way through, and then it gives you all of these other details here. Then you have the Dungeon Expert backpack, which will contain more. They show you like some nice images of what they actually look like, right?
It is an amazing idea. It's
and
an
then
amazing.
you have class based. You have a city backpack that's pretty cool, but then you have the class based ones.
Well, yeah,
Come a little bit later.
Because your cleric needs that holy symbol.
Yeah.
Right.
So
instead of having to spend 20 minutes going through trying to pick all the equipment,
right.
Oh yeah,
you
it
can
makes
pick
making
backpack.
characters so
Yeah.
easy.
And this is what you've got. Boom. You get this package. It includes all this stuff.
And if you want extra shit, you can do that. But
Right,
at least
right.
you know what's in your pack, right?
Yeah. So here's like a wizard spell components pack, which is fairly small, but it has a number of pouches and what can go into each pouch. Then here you have the expert backpacks class based. So here's the arcane thieves and what an arcane thief would have in his backpack. You have an archer's backpack and so on. And then here's the barbarian druid, primal druid backpack. And so it's just a series. Now they also make cards that you can hand out. I actually have the original ones, but they show you like I said, they show you examples of what they look like, and then
I actually used that, except I used the one that was in the there's an AD&D adventure that has pre-made backpacks.
Oh yeah.
And it's like X amount of gold, you get these things.
Yeah.
And I use those when I run OSC. There's Big Vic. I'd watch out for that Florida reprobate. Hey, Vic, we've got all 4 breeds of dinosaur. We've got giant snakes, a tree that will kill you, and 80 distinct breeds of mosquitoes. So
yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't have as many mosquitoes up here. The mosquitoes here are cute. That's what I call them. I say they're cute because they're so tiny, and I'm like, oh look, they might be able to puncture my skin.
But up there in the morning, you got those damn no-see-ums. Oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turns out recently somebody caught a black caiman, and they're only supposed to live in South America. So we have alligators, American crocodiles, African crocodiles, and now also some black caimans.
Well, there are caimans.
Plus, all of South Florida is overrun with iguanas. They actually take people to go out and kill iguanas.
Yeah, there are caimans in South Florida, and because I think Cuba is only 90 miles from Key West. So
yeah, D&D, Dad and Son, there is a tree here. If you eat the fruit, which they call the death apple, you'll just die. But it's extra horrible because if you stand under it and it rains, the water hitting the resin on this tree, if it hits your skin, will cause it to blister up like freaking blister agent. And if you burn the tree and the smoke gets in your eyes, you're effed. Right in the egg. I mean, it will just tear your eyes up worse than CS gas.
And the worst thing that tourists like to do is they like to go play with the Spanish moss.
Oh yeah, which is full of chiggers and
Oh
freaking,
yeah.
and the next thing you know, you're covered in red welts and you're wondering what happened. I mean, yeah,
Yep.
Florida is actually worse than Australia. Like how people talk about that damn spider that lives in Australia,
Mhm.
the big one that'll get you. Well, we have one like that too. It's just not as big, but it's definitely as aggressive.
You got the brown recluse and
Oh, we got brown recluse, black widow,
yeah. And
brown widow.
what's the one that causes the necrotic?
That's the brown
Is it
recluse.
brown
When it
recluse?
bites you, it causes necrosis in the flesh.
Yeah, you
So
could.
they just have to cut the whole chunk out around it
Yep.
because
And-
otherwise it just keeps spreading.
Yep.
They got that exploding tree in Amazon. Yeah, well. And also we have 18 plus foot pythons down in the Okeechobee and Everglades.
Pets that got too big.
Yeah, we have a huntsman spider, except ours isn't quite as big as the Australian version, but it's exactly the same thing. It just don't get as big.
Yeah.
And they also pay people a lot of money if you got an airboat to go out and try and kill pythons and anacondas.
And there is no no season. It's open season year round on them.
Oh, and we have green anacondas, which is the snake that gets the biggest and heaviest in the world. We got those.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida is just wild, man. It's like everything in a state wants to kill you. And we have 2 seasons. We've got summer and then we got little summer.
Yep.
Like, and when
you're almost
everyone else
into
has,
little summer.
right. When everyone else has fall, we have fall, but it's only between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m.
Right.
And then it goes away and little summer shows up.
Yep.
And then there's like 3 days you could call winter that happen.
Yeah, usually it's in January.
Right. You get like 3 or 4 days.
Late
where it's
January,
like
February, yeah. Yep,
yes. The state of Florida is 100% like if you're an adventurer, you wouldn't want to come here. And the other rule is, how do you know if an alligator's in a pond or a canal or something? Well, first off,
Is
ask
there
yourself,
water in it?
is that water wet? Because if that water is wet, there's a good chance there's a dinosaur in it.
Yep.
And crocodiles, unlike alligators, are actively aggressive. But I mean, a 14-foot alligator will eat you too. Once they hit a certain length, they just get to where they're like, yeah, I'll just eat anything now. If they're 6 foot, you can just yell at them and shake a rake at them and they'll run off. But once they get about 10, 15 feet, they're like, yeah, I'm eating you.
But if you got a little dog, that's a snack for them.
Oh yeah, never take a pet anywhere near water in the state of Florida, or a small child. Pet or small child.
Yeah, Disney had a problem with that. Mm-hmm.
A dinosaur will get your pet or small child. They will do it.
Yep.
But anywho, yes, a tree that will kill you 100%. And that's not even, I mean, we're F down here, man. When I go to Kentucky, I walk up and down the Rocky Hills, and the only thing I got to worry about is maybe cannibals or witches. But down here, literally everything will eat you.
Or
and when I'm up there, I'm always armed to the teeth.
Or jugs hanging from a tree.
Look, those holler people are weird. I'm telling you, it's like some Call of Cthulhu shit.
If you see jugs hanging from a tree, you turn around and go back the way you came and forget.
Well, it's
where
like
you
the
were.
story. If you're walking through the woods and you hear your name, don't look. Keep walking.
Yeah.
There's rules in Kentucky, especially in eastern Kentucky, you have to follow if you're in the woods. And it's weird, but apparently it's a true story that like in 1680 or something, a bunch of pagan witches from like Europe, like Scotland or wherever, came to America and brought their gods with them and moved to eastern Kentucky. And they're still there.
Well, they might be in eastern Tennessee too.
Oh, I'm sure they're in eastern Tennessee.
I mean,
Kentucky and Tennessee used to be Virginia until somebody decided to split it all up.
Yep.
So yeah, I would, if you're driving down a highway and you see like a freaking gravel road leading off down into a holler, don't go down there.
Mm-mm.
That's some real life shit.
Not unless you know somebody down there and you're with them.
Yeah, if you don't know someone down there, don't go down there because you could end up ate. And that's before you get into the
The
really weird
AT&T
shit. Like,
Hangman's Tree was first introduced by Gary Gygax in one of the Alice in Wonderland modules.
he had Through the Looking Glass, and he
Yeah.
had what was the other one?
Oh,
And they were high level. They were really high level.
yeah, and they were very strange and everything. They were a lot of fun to run.
Like the rabbit at the Mad Hatter's Feast was like a level 18 assassin or some shit.
Yeah.
It was like really weird, or monk,
It
or
was
whatever
Through
he
the
was.
Mirror, and I forget the other one. I forget what it was called. But anyway, that's when the Hangman's Tree was introduced.
Yeah, they have something like that in Taos Atlanta, even though I think I'm the only person to ever play that game. But it's basically, a tree that'll try and snatch you up by the neck and hang you. But yeah, Gary Gygax, the Through the Mirror, you had like, was the rabbit
No, well, I'll have to
a
look it up.
max level monk? What the
Yeah,
hell
let me
was
get
he?
it.
Yeah, if you show up at the Mad Hatter's party acting a fool, man, they will straight up jack you right up. You'll be done. That's a weird adventure.
Let's see. I'm gonna get them soon. I'm looking for them. Dungeon Land. And then the Land, that was the first one, and then the Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. Those came out in '83.
That's a fact, D&D Dad. And you never ever, when you're up in Eastern Kentucky at least, if you go to bed, you can leave the window open, but you always pull the curtains so that nothing outside can see inside. Because, that's how they get you.
Yeah,
My player always run into them in the sus forest. I love the bronzewood trees in Greyhawk that have like the thorns, and if you cut them off and dry them out, they're like literally bronze, and you can use them as like weapons and make shields out of them and stuff. That's a neat thing Gary added to Greyhawk. Plus Sheldamar Valley, that's just the best. It's got everything you need. It's got the Ullix, it's got Pomage, it's got that bitch in the Elven Kingdom that hates everything that's not an elf. Yes, it can be quite creepy, D&D Dad. But at least we're not West Virginia.
It's dark in West Virginia, man. Down in I've driven through West Virginia at night. Even with a full moon out, you can't see anything.
Well, I mean, because there's nothing there but mountains and freaking people you don't want to be friends with.
I had to stop and get gas when I was driving through.
Hey, considering that D&D Dad and Son is here, do you play it all online?
And before you get to that, I gotta take off. Actually, my wife just came in and showed me something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. You have a great one, DM James. Thanks a lot for stopping in.
And if you ever want to get into more in-depth Garby debates, let me know. We'll get together.
I've stopped kind of like trying to respond to him because I think he still has me blocked or whatever anyway. And nobody comments on his videos, actually. He gets zero commentary on his videos.
Dad Son's right too. West Virginia is full of meth heads. They can strip a house of copper in like an hour. So, but I gotta take off. So I'll catch you later. Thank you so much.
You have a good one. Take care.
Take care, man.
And it's good to see you again, Death Angel. I mean,
yeah, sir. Yeah.
Catch you later, bro. Is that a Cincinnati hat?
No, it's a Chicago hat.
Oh, okay. I was a Cincinnati fan when I lived up north, and now I don't give a shit. But I do wear my UK hat because that was my mom's school. So
Yeah. Well, we're playing. UT is playing Bama this Saturday, so that's going to be
go Wildcats, even though they always lose at football anyway. They're okay at
basketball.
But
basketball,
anyway,
all right.
What did your wife show you? Yes, she showed me food on a plate. I mean, I'm 55, so you don't even have to get dirty minded. She came in and showed me a plate with some food on it, and I'm like, okay,
That's all it takes.
that's how it is. I mean,
Yeah.
so whatever. But
Yeah, my wife actually asked me. She was like, "Are you going to bed soon?"
so yeah, peace and love, and I always appreciate being on your show, Richard, and I always like talking to Death Angel over here. So I'll catch you guys later.
All right, man.
Okay, you have a good one, James. Take
You
care.
too.
Take care.
Yeah, so D&D Dad and Son, I'm looking to run a Shadow Dark online, a play test of a adventure module that I have written. And if you're interested, your kid, your group there, if you wanted to have them all participate, and you tell me when is a good time for you, I'm certainly open to that. But yeah, I put up on drive through, not drive through. I'm sorry, on Roll 20 the link for it and everything. So, but yeah, if you're interested, just leave a comment in the comments section, and I'll certainly, provide you whatever you need in order to jump in on that. I'm trying to open it up for younger players as well, to kind of introduce them to either the hobby or Shadow Dark or whatever. So I had someone else reach out to me. It was like, hey, I have a 10-year-old son. Would you mind him playing in your game? And I was like, well, yeah, it's like Castles and Crusades. And I was like, but I'm also looking to do this thing with Shadow Dark, and I think that that's a better fit for a younger kid anyway, as far as rule systems and everything is concerned. So anyway, yeah, if you and your kids want to play, you're welcome to join in on that game. I haven't started it yet, so I'd love to run it on a Friday night for Halloween, because it is kind of a creepy themed adventure. But anyway, so Death Angels, I'm gonna probably wrap this up too, because I know my wife asked me when would be wrapping this up about 20 minutes ago. So and
Yeah, Lord Mateus, or Mattias, however you want to say it. He's getting ready to start here at 11, I think.
okay,
So Second Watch. I don't know if you've ever watched Second Watch, but him and Gary, they're great guys. I think they're both out of Texas. And,
okay, cool.
So,
All right, well, thanks a lot as always for coming on in, and everyone else
yeah.
have a great night. And I'm trying to get Buzzsaw on Discord. Yeah, that'll be cool. To get him on there, and he wants to play online with you. Well, that would be great, Roger. So yeah, I'd love to have him and his father join in the game too. Yeah, that would be awesome. So yeah, just drop a comment in the comments sections. You have my Discord, or you can always get to my Discord from the descriptions of every single video. And so, yeah, direct him to reach out to me, and I'd love to have him on. His mother had some issues with him being on social media, so we'll see how that goes.
I get that.
Yeah,
That age.
yeah, but hey, that would be awesome. So, all right, guys.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot, and everyone in the chat sections, have a good one, and take it easy, everyone. We're going to end this out.